Okay. Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome. This is Suhela, the college head of Mehboob along with my co-host Sree. Sree, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sree,
Hello.
can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah. Sorry for the disturbance. Hello everyone. Good evening. And I'm Sri Lekha, co-host of this session. I'm
Okay, I
vice chair.
think there is a glitch in her microphone. So Sree is the Vice College Head of Mamta Academy of Medical Sciences, and she'll be accompanying me as a co-host today. Guys, I cannot tell you how excited I am to have you all here for this one of a kind session. The title says it all: one dream, three passports. Which one is going to stamp your future? This session is organized by AMSA. The Asian Medical Students Association, or AMSA, is a student led network that brings together medical students across Asia. Through conferences, research initiatives, and community health projects, AMSA helps us grow academically, exchange cultures, and serve society. It empowers both future doctors to become leaders with both knowledge and responsibility. Now, for every medical student and young doctor aspiring to build a career abroad, the question is real and often overwhelming. Which pathway should I choose? Should it be the UK's PLAB, the USA's USMLE, or Australia's AMC? Each comes with its own opportunities, challenges, costs, and timelines, and that's exactly why we're here today to break it all down for you in the simplest, clearest way possible. And we're not going to do this alone. We've brought together an incredible panel of speakers, doctors who have actually walked these paths and are now practicing successfully across the globe. They're here to share the real story, the pros and cons, the costs, the timelines, and most importantly, practical tips that can help you make the right decision for your future. So, AMSA fam, make sure your internet is strong, your notepads are ready, and your minds are open. Let's begin this session. It is my absolute privilege to introduce our powerhouse panel for today. We have three esteemed speakers. Dr. Aman Syed sir, who will be guiding about PLAB and AMC. Dr. Atif Moiz sir, who will be guiding further about PLAB. And Dr. Sree Mahathi Chavali ma'am, who will be guiding about USMLE. So coming up first, we have Dr. Aman Syed sir. He is an emergency medicine trainee at Leeds Teaching Hospital, NHS Trust, West Yorkshire, in the UK, and a co founder of Empower Academy. With qualifications in MBBS, DEM, MRCEM, and medical leadership, Dr. Aman's insight will give you a clear picture of life and training in the UK. Please welcome Dr. Aman Syed, sir, with a virtual round of applause.
Hi everyone, and thank you so much, Sumela, for that lovely introduction. I'm honored to be here, and I want to first of all congratulate AMSA for organizing this session. I think the work and the idea behind setting up this organization or platform is amazing, and that is something which is deeply required in the Indian setting. So I think we are running a bit late, but without delaying anything any further, I will start talking about my presentation. So Hila, is it possible if I share my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you just
The host will.
unshare yours.
Yes, yes.
Just a quick word, Aman sir. I have got my presentation as well. I think probably the host has got it as well. So yeah.
Yes. Is everybody able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Yeah, can you see my screen, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So, like I said, welcome everyone. My name is Dr. Aman. I'm one of the emergency medicine doctors currently practicing here in UK. I'm based in Leeds, which is a city up north, close to Manchester. And today I will talk about, obviously, we will talk about the PLAB pathway or pathways through which medical students or international medical students, we call them IMG here, can come and start their practice here in UK. So I'm, like Dr. Sohela said, I'm one of the co-founders of Empower Academy. My very dear friend and the co-founder, the brains behind Empower Academy is also with us, Dr. Atif. He will have his opportunity to introduce and talk, but I will do the honors right now. So Empower Academy, basically we help medical students understand these international pathways of how to navigate these systems. So we have coined a term called Foreign Medical Licensing Exams, or FMLE. So this is something that we work on, and as part of this presentation, we will extend the our understanding of these pathways. So a quick introduction about myself again. I'm from India, from Hyderabad, where I started my medical journey way back in 2011. I did my MBBS from Gulbarga, Karnataka, and then I did my diploma in emergency medicine from Apollo Hospitals. After which I started doing a training for MRCEM, which stands for Member of Royal College of Emergency Medicine. So these are the UK exams that I gave back in India, and after which I transitioned here. Uh, I have worked at the prestigious Oxford University Hospital for almost 4 years. I'm currently undergoing a training, UK training for emergency medicine. I've also done a 1 year fellowship in leadership. It's called Future Leaders Program. So why am I saying all this? Because what I want to highlight here is that I have come from a very similar background, which some of you people would have been. A medical college in India, not very sure where the career is going. I wasn't prepared to give the Indian PG, which felt quite useless at that time. I was exploring other options. And yeah, by the grace of God, I have made a reasonably satisfying career for myself. So the reason I was highlighting this is from these backgrounds, it's very possible to establish yourself in international forums or platforms. So I think we all know about the challenges of doing PG in India. I will not go very long onto this one, but basically, as everybody knows, it's very competitive, vast syllabus. Not very sure why do we have such syllabus and topics, which is usually not useful in practical day-to-day life. And again, even after doing the PG, I felt that the the work-life balance is not there in India. You have heavy workload, long working hours, almost zero pay. I mean, yeah, during your internships and PGs, very few of us get stipend. So these were some of the few things that really put me off from doing the Indian PG. Just to highlight my points, as you can see, this is some of the numbers in the recent years. You can see how competitive is the number of seats which are available in India, PG seats, including DNB. Mind you, this is including DNB uh, and what we call it, non-clinical and clinical post-graduation seats. And as you can see, every year the number is increasing. The number of applicants are increasing. They are trying to increase the seats, but again, it's nowhere close to the numbers of the students who will have no opportunity to do the post graduation after finishing their MBBS. So it's very important. What the topic of today is very important for a few of guys who might be finishing their internship or in the process of completing their final medical exams. So you can realize how competitive it's going to become. So every year these numbers is adding up, isn't it? So new students are joining and this numbers just keeps on piling. Key advantages of doing PG outside India, again, there's tons of it, but I'll not go in detail. But the most important I would highlight here is better work-life balance. So that was something very important for me, which I have managed to achieve. And again, there is a lot of the training programs are very structured, globally recognized courses. Moving forward, so coming to the main topic, which is the foreign medical licensing exams, which ones one should prepare, which one are accessible, which one is better for you. So every individual have a different perspective on which one is better for them. So as all of us know, USMLE is something very important. If you know about USMLE, I'm sure a lot of you are already thinking about giving USMLE. Then you have the PLAB or the UKMLA, which is for the UK route. Australian Medical Council exams are gaining a lot of popularity right now. Good opportunity, great country and great medical system. Then you have the Medical Council of Canada. So if you take the first four, these are grossly classified into the English-speaking countries where language would not be a barrier for us as Indian students. Then you have non-speaking English countries as well, where you can do post-graduation trainings. I think one of the most common and favorite is the Germany. You can go to Sweden and Switzerland, any European country, East European countries. And obviously then you have the DHA exams for the Middle East. So I'm going to talk about the UK mainly, the PLAB exam. So practicing medicine in UK at a glance. So basically, UK offers a great opportunity for IMGs. Almost 10 to 12,000 of new medical doctors are getting registered in a GMC, that is the medical council body of the UK, General Medical Council. And almost 40% of the work staff in UK is currently IMG. So you can see how heavily dependent the medical system in UK is on the international medical graduates. So I'm sure a lot of you might have heard that, okay, the UK is not feasible any longer. People are not getting their training jobs there very easily, or they're not getting jobs even after writing PLAB. People are not getting jobs, which has a context behind that. It's not black and white. There is some context which we will discuss today. So basically, to come to UK, you can come through these routes. So the first and the foremost and most easy is the UKMLA, which is the UK Medical Licensing Exams, or it previously used to call as PLAB. Then you have the post-graduation qualification route, that is like the membership exams, MRCP, MRCS, MRCEM, which Dr. Atif is going to discuss in detail. Then you have the medical training initiative or sponsorship route. This is a bit tricky, but again, I'll not go into deep into that. But basically, you get sponsored for a fellowship, or you get sponsored by the organization to come and work for them. Then you have the UK Foundation program, which is kind of a new program here in UK. So the basic idea here is that you can do your internship from UK. So it's not necessarily that if you do your medical school in India, that you have to do your internship there. There is an opportunity through which people can apply for their internship as well. So they can start their internship here in UK. I'm happy to discuss that further. But moving forward, so like I said, the foundation program, you have two different categories in this. This is a 2-year foundation program where you complete your MBBS in India, and after which you come to UK to do your internship. And the internship here in UK is for 2 years. So the foundation program, that's what they call it. The foundation program in UK is for 2 years, which is equivalent to doing our internship. So either you can skip your internship completely in India and come here and do the full 2-year foundation program of the UK, or you can do or you can come and do just 1 year of foundation program. So foundation year 1 and foundation year 2. So if you have completed your final MBBS exam and you want to come to UK directly to do your internship, then you have to do foundation year 1 and foundation year 2. If you are already in your internship or you want to complete your internship in India and then come to UK, then you can come for a 1-year program. This is called as foundation year standalone program, F2 standalone program. Then obviously you have the UKMLA or PLAB, which is a 2-part exam. So this is the licensing exams. Okay, so basic idea here is that you have to give a licensing exam here in UK, which is organized by the GMC. And after clearing those licensing exams, you get a license to practice. It's called as full registration with license to practice. And once you attain that, you are allowed to see patients clinically. Without that, you cannot see patients directly. You can come and do some observerships, which we will discuss later. But to see patients and clinically and get involved into the training pathways, you need to have a license with the GMC. And that license you will get through the PLAB exams. Then we have the membership exams, which Dr. Atif is going to discuss. I'll not go in detail. And I was talking about the medical training initiative. So this is, again, it allows the IMGs to undertake a 2-year supervised training post in the NHS. NHS is the National Health Services here in UK, which is a public funded healthcare system. It's the world's largest public healthcare system. So the government pays for the healthcare here in UK, and this is one of the largest and one of the oldest systems. So yes, so basically you come here to do some kind of a fellowship. Like one of my colleague who has completed his MCH in neurosurgery, he came here for a 2-year fellowship here in UK to train to basically practice neurosurgery here in UK for a couple of years and take that experience back into India, where obviously his qualification, his reputations have multifolded after doing this fellowship. So people tend to do that. So if you've done an ortho PG and you're already an ortho doctor, you might consider coming here and do. So a lot of time people come here into surgical fields because they want to enhance and understand the international training pathways and systems. So that is also possible. So talking in detail about the PLAB. So if I put it this way, so PLAB have basically these steps that you will have to follow. Okay. So what does the PLAB stands for? It's a Professional and Linguistic Assessment Board. Okay. So the eligibility criteria to write a PLAB exam is, first of all, you need to have a medical qualification from a medical college, which is listed in the World Dictionary of Medical Schools. Okay. So most of our colleges in India are registered with this, so shouldn't be an issue. But there are some people who do their MBBS from Russia, China, Ukraine, so they will have to go through this World Dictionary of Medical Schools list to see if their college qualifies in this list or not. So once you have that, so for Indian students, so once after finishing your MBBS, you need to have completed at least 12 months of clinical internship, which I told you, and that is the FY1. So once you have this, what you need to do is you need to give your English proficiency exams. So this is commonly given as IELTS, which even I have given. It feels a bit competitive, but again, it depends how good your English is. So it entirely depends on you. So there's no criteria about it. I've seen a lot of people who have cleared in first attempt, a lot of people who have tried 4 or 5 times. So it's completely dependent on your English language skills. It's usually cost about $200 to $250. The other exam which they have introduced is called OET, which is particular for medical background, people from medical background. Rather than writing the IELTS, which is like a general English exam, you can write just English exam which is based in medicine. So it is for nurses, it is for doctors, it is for paramedics. So every person have a different exam, which is a bit easier because you will have to deal with the medical scenarios. So, for example, the writing test in OET would be like writing a referral letter to another specialty, or over here we call it general practice GP. So you have to write a referral letter to the GP about a patient. So you'll be given a brief summary of what that patient is, and then you have to summarize a letter, uh, which is fairly easy. So a lot of people are writing this exam nowadays. This is a bit expensive, but again, it saves you time. So once you have cleared this, you need to score points. So overall 7.5 in IELTS and grade B in OET. And once you do that, you can create a GMC online account, which is free. You can create it for free. There are websites there's GMC website through which you can do that. And once you do that, you apply for a PLAB 1 exam, which is the first step. Okay. So PLAB 1 is the first step. It is a MCQ based exam, multiple choice. There is no negative marking here. You will have a scenario and you have to select the best answer. The duration is for 3 hours. This exam can be taken from anywhere. Okay, so a lot of students undertake this exam from their home countries. For us, like from India. The exam cost for this, the fee for this one is around £270, which is roughly around 30,000 Indian rupees. And after clearing your PLAB 1, you are allowed to take the PLAB 2 exam. So PLAB 2 exam is a OSCE style exam. Now, OSCE style is, I don't know, a bit difficult to explain, but I had like Indian medical students, like exams are also being conducted in similar fashion these days. But this is basically you will have to enact a scenario. A medical situation would be given to you, and you have to enact what you're going to do in that particular situation. So it's not like a viva, which in our times used to be you sit in front of the examiner and the examiner asks you questions. It's not like that. You will have a patient or a scenario, medical scenario, that you will have to perform in that scenario, and the examiner would be sitting back observing you how you do that. So it's that kind of an exam. It has basically there are 18 stations. Out of 18, 2 are rest stations. So you will be assessed only on 16 stations. This exam's fee is a bit costly. It's around £980, which is around 1 lakh rupees in India. Now, the catch with this exam is only conducted in Manchester. Nowhere in the world, nowhere in the entire world, this exam is conducted. So you will have to come to UK. And for that, obviously, you will have to arrange some of the visa and travel and accommodation cost. So this would be the most expensive or financially heavy exam part. So once you finish the PLAB 2, then you are registered with the GMC with full registration and license to practice here in UK. So this is your route through PLAB. Give your English exam, registered with GMC, write PLAB 1. After clearing PLAB 1, write PLAB 2. After clearing PLAB 2, you are registered with the GMC. And now you can start searching for jobs here in UK. Now, moving forward, now why should we go through all this trouble of writing these exams and putting so much money, putting so much effort? Like I said, I think one of the most important aspect for me was the quality of life over here in UK. As all of us know, the quality of life in India is how should I put it this way? Is questionable. Okay, some people enjoy. I absolutely understand that, but for me, it wasn't the case. So, quality of life is something very important. And again, cultural exposure and travel. You get opportunity to travel the world, experience a different culture, live in a foreign country, it has its own benefits. But apart from that, if you talk about the medical aspect or the clinical aspect, which we will discuss, it's that it's more structured and supportive training program. So UK training system is well recognized throughout the world. Every country recognize UK's training pathway and systems. Majority of our clinical guidelines are established in UK. Especially when I was working in Oxford, I still remember the emergency book that we used to read was called as Oxford Handbook of Emergency Medicine. So I have worked with the consultant who has written the book, which I used to study by heart and practice back in India. So it's yes. So basically, this system provides you with that opportunity of working with some of the elites in your field. Excellent work-life balance. This is again amazing, and I cannot stress harder on this aspect. The work-life balance here in UK is absolutely amazing. By law, you're not allowed to work more than 48 hours per week. Okay, so if you do, basically you risk losing your GMC registration. So you can understand how much stress they give on maintaining a work-life balance, which is complete for 7 you have to work. So that is absolutely leaves, almost a 1 month of annual leaves that you can have. There's a lot of study leaves, study budget would be there. So out of these 30 days, you will have another 30 separate days to concentrate on your studies. So if you're going for a conference, if you're going for a workshop, if you're going to attend any live courses, it will not be taken out of your annual leave. You will have a separate budget of 30 days of study leaves. Again, I'm sure people it's not there in India, or I'm happy to if people can inform that things have changed, but I doubt that. Again, clear career progression. Again, after practicing in UK, you are eligible to work almost anywhere in the world. You can go to Australia, you can go to Middle East, you can go back to India, you can come back to India. I mean, a lot of doctors in big corporate hospitals like Apollo hospitals, Care hospitals, uh, I don't know the big hospital names in Chennai and Bangalore, but a lot of their big consultants have UK training experience. And again, it's a competitive salary and benefits as well. Ultimately, we are working to meet our financial needs, isn't it? So salaries is also reasonably good. You earn about 40-50 lakhs per annum, which is quite good. As a consultant, you can earn up to a crore in a month. Sorry, in a year. I wish in a month. So moving forward, yeah, I'm just going to talk about Australia maybe later, but we can discuss that about it later also. So I just wanted to give you this comparison because this is what we are discussing today, isn't it? UK, Australia, and USMLE. I'm sure our speaker about USMLE will talk in detail about this. But if you see UK, quite straightforward. You have two exams, exam 1 and exam 2. Once you've done that, this is usually the fee structure. This is how much you're gonna spend. So roughly about 2,000 pounds, so 2 lakh rupees for the exams. Whereas if you compare to US, you're almost spending double of that, $4,000 to $5,000. Australian exams are also quite expensive. So I've just written the pros here. Like I said, it's a simple structure, two-part exam, part 1, part 2, simple. Part 1 is MCQs, your basic medical knowledge. PLAB 2 or part 2 is your clinical skills. How do you perform? How you see the patient? Exams are relatively low cost and great work-life balance. Whereas if you compare to Australia, again, you have most of these things, but exams are quite expensive. US, obviously, I will not go deep into that, but if you can see, it will cost you more. But in terms of financial stability, yes, it's not compared. US doctors in UK earn way more when compared to other places. So if your focus is entirely about money, no, I just want to make money, I just want to make tons and tons of properties and resources that which I might not enjoy and leave it back, give it to my children in the future. If that is your goal, then yes, US would be a great place. Or if you want to enjoy the hard earned money of yours by yourself and have a good lifestyle, work life balance, then UK and Australia would be better places. So yeah, I'm just coming to the end of my presentation basically. So like I said, Empower Academy is really thankful for allowing us to come to this platform organized by AMSA. Again, like I said, great initiative, amazing what you guys are doing. Keep up the good work. And obviously these are our contact numbers. I'm sure we'll have opportunity to discuss further. And yes, so that brings to the end of my presentation. What I will do is close this and exit, stop sharing my screen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aman sir, for sharing your valuable insights on PLAB UK pathway. We got good clarity and direction now. Sir, we'll be having a short Q&A session right now for anybody who
Yes,
has doubts. My co-host Srilekha will be taking over now.
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you, Sahila, and thank you, Aman sir. Now it's time for Q&A session. I have posted the link in the chat box, so do feel free to post your queries in that, and I'll be reading the questions out.
Yes,
So,
ask any questions, people. Any doubts you have, any clarity you want, more than happy to answer.
Meanwhile, can I just try and share my screen for the next presentation? I'm just going to check whether it's working or not. Happy to take questions as well. Am I audible, Aman? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes,
Good.
you are audible, Dr. Atif.
Okay. Application windows. Share. All right. Screen is okay.
Yeah, looks fine.
Perfect.
the question one, sir. How many years to receive the postgraduate degree and becoming consultant?
Yes, so that varies. It depends on the specialty you're trying to get into. Okay, so I will tell from my experience, emergency medicine is for 6 years. So you have, after completing your MBBS, and once you join the training program here in UK, you have a 6 years training period, and after that you become consultant. Uh, for GP, it is for general practice. Okay, so I don't a lot of you will know about GP, but it's like general practice, a general physician. That is only for 3 years. So a lot of people can become consultant in just 3 years. If you want to go into cardiology, I think, which is the longest, it takes about 8 to 9 years. So it varies on the specialty. So if you are going on a surgical, let's say if you want to become a neurosurgeon, yeah, it might take you up to the training pathway itself is for 9 years. People do a lot of other stuff, so it can extend. But generally speaking, 6 to 8 years on an average is the training periods here in UK.
Okay, so other questions. What sources are we supposed to follow to be able to write PLAB exam and crack it in the first attempt?
So you have lots of online material. There's a lot of online banks, question banks, online. The most famous is the Pass Medics, uh, which is available online. And so you take the subscription from them, you start reading, preparing, and then you give your PLAB one. So PLAB one, most of the time people just prepare by themselves. They write there, they take the subscriptions, prepare, and give off the PLAB one. For PLAB two, a lot of people go for training. So PLAB 2, like I said, it's this exam structure is a bit different as compared to what we do in India. So a lot of people might not be familiar with that system. So a lot of students, like majority of the students, join these academies to train for PLAB 2 exams, which are mainly based in UK. But we are also helping students here in India. So in Hyderabad also we have our Empower Academy. We conduct the PLAB 2 training. But yes, so there is a lot of online material available, which where you can prepare for PLAB 1, and for PLAB 2, it would be getting in touch with one of these academies who will help you prepare with this. Or if you want to prepare on yourself, if you're so confident that you can do it, then there are tons of online videos. The most famous one is the Geeky Medics. I don't know if you guys want to write it down. Geeky Medics. If you Google that, then you will, or on YouTube, you will find the videos how the OSCE exams happen. So you can go through that structure, understand that structure, and if you feel confident enough, you can prepare by yourself. Or otherwise, there are academies that will help you do that.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Yes. Uh,
can I just say something? I think most of the questions, once I speak and then once I take my session, I think some of the doubts will get cleared. And to be honest, if people are asking resources, etc., for PLAB or any other Royal College exams, there is a lot on YouTube, there is a lot on Instagram. A lot of people have made videos and they have put forward links, etc. So it's easy. You just need to do a bit of groundwork, a bit of research, and you will get to know the stuff. Otherwise, we're happy to share details.
Or you come to us, you come to us, and we are more than happy to guide you and help you. Happy with that? Next question.
yes.
Masar, I was just thinking, I'm just very mindful of my time as I need to go to work. So I was thinking if we can keep getting those questions in the chat box, I'll keep an eye out. I would do my presentation and then we can take all of them together, because I think most of the questions, the answers are in my presentation. I don't know if that's okay with our host, Shaila Srilekha.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's perfectly fine, sir. We'll have a Q&A session after your intro.
Perfect. Thanks. So, hello, everybody. I can see 75 participants. That is amazing. That is so good. AMSA, I mean, the kind of work that you guys are doing is extraordinary. Getting people together on one platform is not an easy job. So my name is Atif Moiz. I'm one of the consultants in emergency medicine practicing in England. I have my roots in India, especially from Hyderabad, and me and Aman sir, we've been working together for about maybe 15 years now. And why are we here? What do we want to tell you? What are the secrets? Really, we have been into this system now that we felt that we have to give back to our country, give back to our society, our people. And that is the whole idea and intention of why we are, putting our efforts, and why we've come up with an academy called Empower Academy, is really to, give back to people. Because what we see is, the medical graduates from India, once they move abroad, they do USMLE, go to US, settle down, UK, settle down, Australia, Europe, Middle East. But then really people are not turning back and not thinking about people like yourself who are in their initial phases of struggle in their medical school, or trying to get into PG. There's not much of guidance available where people who have achieved niche qualification, that they turn back, look at the people who are struggling and guide them. We have had this problem as ourselves when we were trying to pursue our PGs and super specialty, etc. And then we realized that it is to this day, by the mercy of Almighty or God, that we are able to communicate this back to people like yourselves. How does that sound? I would like to have this like an interactive sessions. I can see everyone is muted, but I would really want if people can, sink in and feel what I'm saying. So I know Aman sir talked about specifics about getting into exam. I'm going to talk about more about how, as a doctor, as an international medical graduate, what else you could do in life, being a doctor, because life is all about enjoying the life, cherishing every moment. Yes, whilst being a doctor, how can we do that? How can we improvise, our lives using our medical degrees? Okay. So coming back to my presentation, it says Royal College membership examination eligibility for medical students. So whilst doing MBBS, first year, second year, third year, final year, etc., you should be ahead of time, right? You should be thinking ahead of time that, often the mindset is I finished my MBBS, then let me explore, let me do postgraduate training, let me join an academy, dams, whatever, etc., and then prepare for PG. Life is very short, right? Every second is important, every month, every year is important. You should make it as accountable, because really the productive life of a doctor is up to 50, 55 years or max 60 years. And the kind of scenario or the kind of metrics, the things that are designed around it is you do PG, you do super specialty, and by the time you're out of this system, when you really start minting money, you're 40 years, you're 35 plus, and you've got another 15, 20 years productive. So I'm going to really focus on this part, because I think this is what is close to me, and this is what I worked upon, and this is what I can tell you guys today. Okay, so coming back to what I've done so far, I think I'll give my example. It's easy for you guys to reflect and understand as to how we have achieved things in lives, So coming back to the next slide. So what do Royal College exams, why do Royal College exams whilst in India? See, these are the kind of postgraduate exams which would give you an upper hand whilst working in India. I'm not forcing you. I'm not saying that come to UK, etc. I'm just giving you an idea, right? So when I did MBBS in India, I did from Karnataka, Alamein Medical College, Bijapur. I did my MBBS. I came to Hyderabad, lost. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have any specific interest in medicine or surgery. I was just lost, and I always wanted to do something, bits of every specialty. Like I love pediatrics, gynecology, general surgery, etc. Then I explored, and then I found a course called as Diploma in Emergency Medicine, and so that is DEM. I did a 1-year course, and then I've really found that this specialty, this is the exciting 15 minutes of every specialty. Like you do resuscitation, you do part of general surgical skills. Like, for example, the other day, I was in the emergency department, a gunshot wound. A patient came in cardiac arrest with a gunshot wound exactly at the chest, right? We had the surgeon down, we had the anesthetist down, we had the intensivist down, we had everybody. But people had no clue what to do because the patient is really in the emergency department and he is in a cardiac arrest. It was that moment where really me as an emergency medicine consultant, I have opened the chest, both the sides, put in chest tubes. I was doing cardiac massage. I was holding the heart of the patient in my hands, right? I'm not a CT surgeon. I'm not a interventional radiologist. I'm not a fancy guy, but I'm an emergency medicine consultant who's responsible, or who who takes care of the first 15 minutes of every unwell patient belonging to any specialty. So this is the kind of job that I do. I have, this is, the FRCEM degree, the Fellowship in Royal College of Medicine, is the highest qualification in the world for emergency medicine as compared to MD in US. Right, so I just wanted to give you an example. Now, I'll stick to my topic. First of all, emergency medicine. What can I do? Or why do Royal College exams? It's because you don't need to come to UK to do Royal College exams. If you're doing MD or DNB, you can give the exams from overseas. Obviously, most of the college have got their exam centers in India. And then this usually means that you need to complete your MBBS. You need to have your provisional medical degree before you start attempting the first step of these exams, right? Coming to emergency medicine in India, you have MD, you have DNB, and also you have other unrecognized courses called as Masters in Emergency Medicine. One is from George Washington University, some affiliation to US. One is Masters in Emergency Medicine. Society of Medicine, India, Emergency Medicine India, etc. You have some unrecognized, you have some recognized courses, and then you have the Royal College courses. You know, I'm saying this because this is for you to do whilst you're working in India. If you have a mindset that my family is in US, I need to go to US, please go for it. I would say that's the first option. USMLE, go ahead, go for it. That is the best option, I can clearly tell you today, because the amount of money that you'd make in future, etc., is humongous. There is no comparison to it. So this is with regards to emergency medicine. You cannot do it whilst you're doing your MBBS final year, etc. You must have completed your medicine MBBS. Now that is emergency medicine. Then this is general medicine, MD, DNB, general medicine, or MRCP. Again, you cannot take your MRCP part 1 whilst doing MBBS. You need to finish your medical school. Same with general surgery, again, need to have an MBBS degree. But what I'm trying to say is, if your specialty of interest is general surgery, right, you prepare for your MRCS part 1. As soon as you finish your MBBS, give it. Don't wait for any surgical experience, etc., etc. Most of these Royal College membership examination, you know, they would need 2-year or 3-year experience towards the end. So you finish your part A or part 1, which is mostly basic sciences with an orientation towards that specialty. Okay, so coming back. Next, I've spoken about general surgery. I've spoken about, okay, obs and gynae. Again, obs and gynae. Yes, this is a long course, previously called MRCOG. I should have mentioned this. It's called as FRCOG now, Fellowship of Royal College of Obstetrics and Gynecology. This is a long 7-year course. Yes, you can give your part A whilst doing your MBBS final year. Yes, there is some scope wherein you can attempt. Pediatrics, again, MD, DNB, Pediatrics, MRCPCH is the equivalent exam. You need to finish your MBBS. I've got a comparison table here for most of the Royal College exams, MRCP, MRCS, MRCOG, blah, blah, blah. So in this, mostly it is MRCOG that part 1 is allowed in the final year, and then part 2, part 3 after, you know, MBBS experience whilst working in Obs and Gynae department. Is that okay with most of you? So these are broadly the specialties wherein you can start working towards whilst you are in final year or internship and start giving those exams. I know each exam is a bit costly. It's not a guarantee you would pass in first step. I didn't pass it in my first attempt. It takes a couple of attempts to do this. But these are really some exams that you could do whilst, you know, applying for NEET PG, whilst applying for DNB, etc., that you start gaining your, you know, qualifications. My only push is to not, you know, do not waste time studying. You've given you 5 years of your precious life to a medical school, and immediately after you should start working on getting qualification, because ultimately what you are is what your degrees are, right? People weigh you by what your degrees are. So that is what I'm trying to push here is do not waste time. Get these medical, you know, Royal College degrees on board, start working towards them whilst doing your struggle to get into the Indian postgraduate medical system. Now, again, this was the same thing. Right, guys, so let us deep dive into, do you just want to be a doctor? Yes, everybody wants to be a doctor because we have chosen MBBS, or we were sent to do MBBS, or we didn't have a choice, we got into medical school. Yes. Now, how about answering a few of the questions that I've put here? Work-life balance. As Aman sir has spoken already, work-life balance. In India, there are a lot of my friends, my colleagues, my seniors who are giving, I shouldn't be using this, who are giving their ass off time to their profession. Corporate hospital in the morning, government hospital or a clinic in the evening, and then by night time, my own clinic. Yes, I'm making 10 lakh rupees, 15, 20 lakh rupees a month. What's the work-life balance? Am I even fit at the end of the day to look after my family? What have I done as a human being for others? Is money everything? What about work-life balance? Yes, for that reason, I would say go to a Western country. Time is on your side, age is on your side once you have finished your medical school to explore. You've got that 5, 10 years. We have done it. Others have done it. When will you, you know, when will you sit and learn with other people across the globe as to what really life is and what really you could do as a doctor. Next, when will I become a millionaire? This is a very important question. As doctors, yes, we should be. People would think as doctors, they are, they are making fancy money. Not really, sir. If I give my 16 hours of life in a day to this profession, I would become a millionaire maybe in 5 years' time, maybe in 10 years' time. But how about if I have a good work-life balance and if I go to a Western country, make some decent salary, or make some, good investments into real estate or stock market whilst being a doctor, yes, I can become a millionaire. So am I going to become a millionaire by the age of 40? You need to think about it right now. I guess you guys are about maybe 30-ish now, 25, 30-ish, maybe around that age. Next 10 years, you have to plan, because 40 is that tipping point wherein after that you're going down. So this is your moment to think about how am I going to reach that target. When will I travel across the world? Very important question. Are we here in this world just to stick to our country? Yes, I love my country, India. I would really want to give back to India. That's why I'm here talking to you guys. But then personal life, I would like to explore the world. I would like to travel. I would like to have different kinds of cuisines across the globe. When will this happen? When will this happen? Will it happen after I've achieved all my qualifications towards the end, 40, 45 plus, and then do this? Or do I want to do it hand to hand as I go, as I study? Do I want to do it as I progress in my career? Next, global physician or a global surgeon. What does that mean? That means that, the theme of the topic, what was it? Stamps, different kind of stamps in your passport. Today we've got my situation, I've got an Indian passport, I've got a permanent residence in England, I've got a residence permit in UAE, etc. So when will that happen? That I would be able to travel across the world visa free. Family homesickness, how am I going to balance? Sir, I'm a female, I'm a mom and dad's boy. I need to look after my, aging parents. How am I going to balance that? I'm going to get married. I'm going to get kids, etc. How am I going to balance all of this? You have to think. You have to plan. Is my partner, is my wife, is my husband a doctor? How do we work together? So I'm just shedding light here. I'm not going to go into fine details. And last but not the least, this is the point that I love most. Invest in yourself, my friends. My brothers and sisters here, my colleagues, invest in yourself. What does that mean? Invest in yourself, right? The best investment is, you think, you reflect, what am I doing? Am I physically fit? Am I mentally fit? What is bothering me? Am I stressed? Am I anxious? Am I in debts? Have I taken student loans? Do I need to pay a loan off for my parents, for my family? Have I bought a house? Children's education, etc. So best thing, investing in yourself, building up your own career, doing your post-graduation, super specialty as early as possible. Do not waste time, do not waste years after seeking, after studying. Get rid of the books, get rid of your education as soon as possible and start making money. People might think that I'm more commercial, etc. I am not. At the end of the day, the money is for yourself, to invest in your life, on yourself and family. The earlier you do, the more you make, is what I'm trying to push. Okay, so having said that, sir, you sound a bit out of reality here. Well, okay, if someone can learn from it, that's better. Let me just, with Aman's permission, let me just show some things that we do. To this day, I am not 40 years. I've got a couple of years more to reach, but with the grace of Almighty, I've got the highest qualification in the world, right? In emergency medicine, obviously, that's my specialty. And what else do I do, or what else we could do apart from our clinical work, apart from our patients, apart from our relatives? What else could we do out of work? Right. So let's see. So this in the picture is Aman sir. This is me. This is one of our junior doctors who's recently come from India. I don't know if you can see this, my mouse scrolling on the faces. And this lady in the center is our head of the department, and she's a doctor. This is a medical center in a motorsport racing. So we are a medical team giving support to a fast car racing track. So this is what we do out of our clinical work. Next, that is me and Aman sir. We are medical doctors, a medical backup team for off-street superbike racing. This is what we do out of work. And then the next one is air ambulance. Can we do air ambulance? Can we do it in India? Maybe, may not be. It might take few years, but this is high altitude pre-hospital medicine to lift patients or victims who've had collisions and transport them to the nearest major trauma center. Of course, last but not the least, to close my presentation, wilderness medicine. Do you know what wilderness medicine is? Exploring medicine at different scenarios in the world, high altitude, mountaineering, wildlife, in the woods, etc., where you don't have medical teams or medical establishments to be able to reach to people who need you the most. That's about it. Thank you very much, everybody, for your patience. Happy to take any questions. I'll give it back to our organizers, Suhaila and Sree. Thank you.
We are truly grateful, sir, for your not just the wisdom, but also you have clarified the steps of PLAB journey, shared your insights and everything. Sir, we'll have a short Q&A session right now.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you, Suhail, and thank you, sir. So the link for the questions has been posted. So please be free to post your queries in that. So the previous questions were
Yeah. So I can also read them. So someone has asked about ophthalmology post-graduation. So ophthalmology, again, very competitive in the UK, very, very tough. You have to do MRCS for that, but then you shouldn't be overqualified to get into ophthalmology because really they need, after MBBS, you do 1 year or 2 year foundation year 1, foundation year 2, and then apply for training. You shouldn't be overly experienced to get into MRCS, very competitive. Again, it's a bit of challenge if you ask me about UK system, because I think the trend is more towards a bias system wherein there's more of preference to graduates from UK medical school rather than international. But it is worth the try. I would say do not give up. Pursue your DNB or MS in ophthalmology whilst you're still, applying for these posts in the UK.
Yeah, Atif, let them do the questions because it's coming in a like
Oh, in the
first come
Google
first
form.
order.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
let them do from the Google form.
Sure.
yeah. So is there a job saturation in NSH UK, sir?
Yeah, so that's a big myth. There is no job saturation as such, but there is a saturation of students who are unskilled. So if you just write your PLAB exam and you've done your MBBS, there's no value to have you here, right? So what skills you're bringing? Are you an extraordinary researcher? Do you have any work in publications? Have you done any some extracurricular activities? So it's about developing your skills. So like literally, yesterday I met one of the colleague who has come from India. So yes, there are a lot of people who are still coming. It's not about job saturation. It's about the competition has increased. Like for USMLE, like everybody used to think, okay, USMLE is too tough. Let's try the UK because it's the easier route. That has changed. So UK is also becoming more competitive. So it is difficult to get a job. I would say definitely yes, it's difficult to get a job, but jobs are available. There are vacancies. You have to be skillful to qualify for that job, if that makes sense.
Yes, sir. So can we join neurosurgery and cardiothoracic surgery after MRCS or only after PLAB?
So PLAB is basically you come here as a medical student. So after clearing PLAB, you are a fresh MBBS student. Like some of you might be there in India. After clearing PLAB, you come as a MBBS student, and then you can join into particular training. But if you write these membership exams, you come as a specialist, like you have done a MD. Suppose if you have done an MD in medicine, then only you can join DM in cardiology or DM in gastroenterology, right? So similarly, PLAB is your basic foundation exam. Yes, so you can join the neurosurgery and cardiothoracic surgeries both ways. Either you come through the PLAB route and try and enter into the neurosurgical field or cardiothoracic field, or you do your MRCS exams back in India while doing your training and then come and apply. Again, like in India, these specialties are highly competitive here also. So your portfolio has to be absolutely amazing. It's not impossible, but it is quite difficult for international medical students or IMGs to get into surgical fields. It is possible, but you have to be like, yeah, really good with your portfolio.
What's the minimum duration of non-training years, sir?
There's no minimum duration. A lot of people come directly into training, like Dr. Atif himself, the living example. So after finishing his membership exam, the MRCEM exam in India, he came directly into a training post in UK, which is really rare. So again, it is possible, but I'm sure Dr. Atif will be able to explain that better. But yes, so there is no minimum period of non-training position. You can join directly into training, or if you want to explore different specialities before deciding what you want to do, you can do that as well, which is again unique for UK because it is not possible in USMLE. So after writing USMLE, you have to get a match into that particular training only. And what if you don't like? Once you go there and if you realize, oh no, I don't like this specialty, then you're stuck in US. But in UK, that's not the case. You can come here, work as a non-training post, and then decide which specialty you want to go into. Yes, Dr. Atif.
Master, can I just add? So two things, right, guys? PLAB or Royal College exams. Why do you need? Is for General Medical Council registration. So after MBBS, either you choose PLAB 1, PLAB 2, and get your GMC registration, or you finish a Royal College membership like MRCM, MRCS, or MRCP, and then get the General Medical Council membership registration. Now, I did my MBBS, I did my MRCEM whilst in India, and then I applied directly for General Medical Council registration, and I got the registration. I came to England directly as a trainee. My first day in this country was ST4, specialty training in year number 4. ST4, ST5, and ST6, 3 years of training. I finished my fellowship in Royal College of Emergency Medicine, and that is CCT, Certificate of Completion of Training, highest qualification with training. So this is one rare example. I didn't waste any years here. So PLAB route is for those after MBBS to be able to work as an MBBS doctor in England is your PLAB 1, PLAB 2 exam. If you finish your MRCM, MRCS, MRCP, MRCOG in India, and you want to come and work in that specialty here, then it is your membership route to get your General Medical Council registration. Hope that answers your question.
So is it easy or difficult to get into surgical specialties?
It is competitive. There is no easy or hard. What do you mean by easy, hard? Is it easy to get a PG seat in India? Can anybody answer? Is it easy? No, it is
Yes.
competitive.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's competitive. Competition is high. A lot of people want to apply for that particular post itself. So the competition is high. So you have to be highly skilled person. You just cannot be a person who has cleared a written exam and hoping to get into these courses. Okay. So the competition is high. But what I would say is that it is very fair here in UK. So the selection process is very fair. Everyone gets an equal opportunity regardless of their background. So if you are from India or there is a doctor from UK, both of them will have the same selection criteria. So the selection process is quite fair. But yes, it is competitive. Surgical fields are competitive everywhere. India, US, UK, Australia, you name it. Everybody wants to be a surgeon. So that's why the competition level is high.
Can I just add, Aman sir, in terms of whether it is easy or hard, I'll just give you one example. I'm into recruitment. I employ doctors. I recruit international students from India. If I have one position in my department, right? For example, we are 73 here, 70 people, right? All of you apply for that position to work in the, for example, emergency department. You want to come and work in my department. I've advertised a job. So how am I going to choose who to take out of all 70 people? So I'm going to ask each of you this question. How many people have in your CV, can you show me how many audits that you have done? What is an audit? Like how many chest pain patients came to your hospital and ECG was done in how much time, you've taken out the data, you've made an analysis. How many people have done a quality improvement project that you have improved the quality about something in your medical school, right? How many people have done a thesis, or how many of you have got a publication, right? How many of you have done something out of medicine, like you've won a painting competition, you've done a comedy show, etc. How will I choose who to take depends on how good as a person you are, not just as a doctor. So that's how the competition really is. We're looking at what all credentials you have, not just MBBS degree, what all you are as a person apart from being a doctor. And as a doctor, what else have you done that is out of the box, that you are able to show, and you're able to present yourself. So that is how really things happen and you get a job. If you think that jobs are saturated, as Amansa said, no, jobs are not saturated. It's become so competitive, because if I am Sri Lekha here and I say, sir, I want to do surgical training, what all have I done to achieve this post, or to, what have I done to stand apart from others in the queue for this job, is that would count. Does that answer the question?
Yes, sir. So, what
Okay.
can we do to build a portfolio while doing MBBS in India? So,
Very right
Yeah.
question. Aman sir, please.
Very, very right question. Exactly. So that is what we are trying to teach here. That is what our academy is all about, is to help you build your portfolio or to upskill yourself. So as MBBS doctor, just like I said earlier, numbers, there are 2 lakh doctors passing out each year from India. So out of those 2 lakhs, how would you stand out is the question. And for that, we are helping people with the portfolio building. It's not a simple answer. Like you have to do audits, like Dr. Atif said, you have to do audit, you have to do quality improvement projects, you will have to do research, you'll have to have some kind of publications on your name, you will have to have a teaching experience, you need to have a leadership aspect, like literally what Sri Lekha, Suleha, Hanu, Ibtisam, who has contacted us. So you guys are doing a leadership role. You are playing a leadership role. You have set up an organization, and you are help helping other people achieve their target. So this should go into your portfolio. So Sri Lekha, Suleha, you should write a reflection on this session today, and it should go into your portfolio to say that, okay, yes, we have organized a teaching session, we have organized international faculty for our students, for our organizations, and yeah, so this is what you, and this is like the leadership thing which we have done. So these kind of things will show on your portfolio, if that makes sense.
yes, sir. Sir, how long for dermatology? How do you decide the specialty in UK?
So dermatology, again, very competitive. Everybody wants to do the most competitive things. So dermatology route is to MRCP. So you come here, you join the core medical training program. It's called IMT here. So you
Excuse me, sir. Your audio is not clear, sir.
do
There's a glitch.
the core medical. You can imagine the competition here. The straight for you apply for dermatology training.
Yes, so there was
Hope that's answered
there
the
was actually a
question.
glitch, sir. We couldn't hear you properly.
Oh, sorry. So no, I was telling about for dermatology, you need to do your medicine training. That is for 3 years. It's called core medicine training or CMT. And after that, you apply for dermatology.
Okay, sir.
Again, something wrong with the network, maybe.
Yeah, there's a little problem with the network, sir.
Is it clear now? Is it better now?
Yeah, it is better now, sir. And
Yes.
yeah, what should our CV would it be to better consider UK after completing PG in India, or doing it after our MBBS?
So I would say it completely depends on individual. So that is the reason we organize career counseling sessions, because everybody is different. If you feel that you are good enough to get a seat in India itself, yeah, go for it. Do a training in India and waste any time trying the Indian PG, then coming here would be good. I would say, personally, I would come to UK because I will start earning money quickly. Exactly. The moment I come and I get into my first job, I'm getting at least 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees per month. Straightforward, isn't it? So why would I do a PG in India where I'm getting 20-30,000 rupees and doing so many hours of work? Instead of that, I can come to UK, make good money while doing a good training or work in an international country. So personally, I would do the PG here in UK. But again, it depends. Like I said, everybody have a different situation. So that's why we organize the career counseling session, and we are more than happy to have any of you over there where we can do one-to-one session to answer these questions.
Yes, sir. Dr. Atif, sir.
Yeah, Sree and Suhaila, I would like to thank you guys because I'm going to leave now. But before I leave, can I just say we should have a follow-up meeting again, right? Whenever next AMSA is going to organize any kind of workshop, we are more than happy if you let us know. I think this should be a continuing process. We are here as educators, as enlighters for all of you. If anyone wants to have one-to-one face-to-face meeting or on the phone, etc., we are here. It is all free. We are here to guide. We want you guys to come on board with us, to progress. It's all about collective progress, right? Do not have competition with each other. Do not pull each other's backs. The world is your competition, and progress together. Having said that, with my deep, sincere thanks to the organizers of AMSA, fantastic job. You have got medical graduates together. Please utilize not just us, people like us who are willing to give back to the community. Use our talent, invite us. We are more than happy to come and do some education. And we have some courses which we'd like to come and do in medical colleges. We can discuss that afterwards. But hats off to you guys. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best, all of you here, for your future medical careers and post-graduation, etc. Thank you very much. And good to see you, Aman bhai. We'll meet you.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you, Atif.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yes, sir, for your experience, and thank you. We are deeply grateful for your time, sir.
No problem. My pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, Srilega. Any other questions?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. If we don't clear plan 2, like PLAB 2, should we again write the PLAB first exam? Should we retake the whole process?
No, so very, very good question. So after PLAB 2, after PLAB 1, you will have 2 years time to clear your PLAB 2.
Oh,
So PLAB 1 will be valid for 2 years. So if you don't clear your PLAB 2 within 2 years of writing your PLAB 1, then you will have to do the process again.
Okay, so for sir, each specialty, like we have to do certain observerships and research publications. So for each and every category, right? So like for neuro, for cardio, how many are required for the major branches?
So no, you don't have to do in every field. So suppose if you want to become a neurosurgeon, then of course having experience in neurosurgery would help your cause. If you want to do emergency medicine, then having experience in emergency medicine would help your cause. So yeah, you don't have to do in every specialty. Any any specialty which you are interested in, you should work towards that, or at least work in that department.
Okay, sir. And how much cost does it take for post-graduation training?
Free, absolutely free. You get paid.
Oh, that's great, sir.
Yeah, you get
Uh,
paid to do the work. You're not paying. You're not buying PG seat here. You will have like I said, you will have 30 days of study leaves, and you will have a study budget. So it's not just about your training, doing your job. They will pay you for your other courses also. So you will have 3,000 pounds, that is 3 lakh rupees of budget for 1 year for non-trainees. So even if you're not training, if you're coming as a duty medical officer here, the hospital will provide 3,000 pounds for your study budget. So you can do any courses or anything from that. And if you are in training, for the duration of that whole training, you will have 10,000 pounds. So 10 lakh rupees government will give you to do your education, do your courses, attend conferences, and just improve your education basically. So you are paid to gain skills here in UK.
yes, sir. And this is my question, sir. So, in how many countries is PLAB accepted? So, the license of UK, and how many countries
Yes.
is accepted?
So a PLAB license as such, I mean, just writing PLAB and then going somewhere else.
Yes, after writing PLAB and working few years, and yeah,
Yes.
and then
So yeah, so if you write PLAB and gain some years of experience, then you can work in Australia, New Zealand, Canada. You can also obviously come back to Middle East. So if you complete your CCT, suppose you finish your training, complete training here in UK, that is called CCT, Certification of Completion of Training, then you can work anywhere. There are few states in US also who's opened up now, who are accepting trainees from UK.
okay. So, what about people who are like really like sports medicine, sir? So, because India
Oh
has
wow,
exposure.
who's who is that person who asked? I want to have the name actually. I don't know if
Um, Actually, okay, I'm not able to
they
say the name, sir, but yeah, get back to you, sir.
raise their hand here. But anyways,
Yeah.
it's fine. And
It's Ayush.
Ayush.
Yeah.
Ayush. Okay, Ayush. Yes, very interesting choice. Something which I wanted to do. Uh, yes, great career opportunity. You have a complete separate training pathway for that, sports and exercise medicine. You can Google it as well. So after coming to UK, again, you have to do complete your core training. So core training is like doing an MD in India. So that core training could be in surgery, could be in medicine, could be in emergency medicine. So out of these three, you have to do, and after which you can apply into sports and exercise medicine. That will be for 4 years. So the whole duration of the training would be 3 years of your core training and 4 years of your sports and exercise medicine training, which is, like I said, it's a very well recognized training platform and training pathway here in UK. I mean, I think there's nothing in India. You just do diplomas here and there. I don't know if there is an MD in sports medicine. If anybody wants to tell, I'm not sure if there is an MD in sports medicine, but yes, in UK you can do sports and exercise medicine. 3 years of core training and 4 years of sports and exercise medicine.
Okay, sir. Sir, only with PLAB and GMC registration, can we go to some other country? Only with PLAB and GMC registration, not like doing the training.
No. Short answer is no, because PLAB route just gives you the license, isn't it? It's not a qualification as such. It's a licensing exam. So you
Okay, sir.
clear the license exam. So that's why after clearing the license exams, you will have to work here. It's like the Ukraine doctors who come and write what is that exam? FMG. Yeah, FMG exam in India. Hello.
Yes, sir. Your voice was breaking, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So after PLAB, you have to work in UK to go somewhere else. So I will talk that about in the Australian session. But after writing PLAB, if you have 1 year of UK experience, you can work in Australia and New Zealand as well.
Okay, sir. So, what is the best time for doing observerships? Is it before graduating or after?
Uh, it depends again what you want to achieve out of that. But the best thing would be to do after your internship.
Sir, what about pursuing in Middle East the licensing? So, after doing this training, sir, in Middle East, how are the opportunities?
Oh, they are amazing. They are very amazing. They are very well paid. My very good friend and my senior who is also from Hyderabad, he has recently moved to Dubai, and he is getting I think after so he did his emergency medicine training here in UK, and he's now working in Dubai. I think his per month package is 18 lakhs, 18 lakhs of rupees, and housing, everything included. So yes, lot of packages. Great opportunity. A lot of people do that. Yeah, even I might do that.
Yes, sir. What are
But yeah,
the government issues right now? So, is it fine?
sorry.
Government issues, sir. So, the route, because, yeah, which makes us unsure of the route. So, how are the rules and all? The visa process, is it affecting in any way?
No, most of the visas and these issues are not for healthcare professions. So other areas have some faces some difficulty, but because like I said, the you see 40% of the NHS workforce is made up of IMGs. So UK government recognizes the importance of foreign doctors. So most of the visa rules and regulations are not applied to uh, medical doctors. But again,
So,
I
how are
can't
the,
predict the future.
yes, sir, the research opportunities there after MBBS, research jobs.
Oh yes, yeah. There's so many research jobs. You can do a research fellowship, so you don't have to come as a doctor here. You can come here for research fellowship as well. So just to do a research, if your research portfolio is very good, you can apply for jobs here in research jobs, and they will call you to do a research project here.
Okay, sir. Yeah, thank you, sir. We can end the Q&A session now, sir. And everyone
Okay.
who have further queries can ask sir personally. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your advice, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Again,
Thank you.
amazing. I really enjoyed the session. So I'll hang around. I think I'll have to talk about the Australian pathway as well.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
sure, sir.
Next up, we have the AMC pathway. Dr. Ziauddin Khaja, sir, due to unforeseen circumstances, couldn't join. So, on his behalf, Aman, sir, will be speaking for AMC. So,
Yes. So I will share my screen again. Let's load this one. Okay. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes,
yes, sir.
sir.
Okay, great. So this is my friend, Dr. Zia. He unfortunately could not make it today. It's quite late in Australia, actually. It's, I think, around 10 o'clock in the night there. And unfortunately, her mother is feeling unwell, it seems. So I will ask everybody to pray for his mother as well. So Dr. Zia could not be with us, but yeah, I will tell the background of Dr. Zia. Dr. Zia has done his MBBS from China, and he is a very good friend of mine. He did his again MRCEM, the same thing which I did in India from Hyderabad, and after doing that, he has come to UK. So he was working with me in Oxford for I think we were there for around 3 years. And after working in Oxford, he has moved to Australia. So his main reason to go to Australia was because all of his family was there. His mother, two of his brothers were in Australia. So he decided that he wants to live close to his family. So that is the reason he's gone there. So he's currently in Adelaide, Lynn McQueen Hospital in Adelaide, in Australia. He's working as a senior emergency medicine doctor there. He did a diploma in pediatric medicine before moving to Australia as well to gain a bit of experience. So yeah, like I said, this was the background for Dr. Zia. So why Australia? So according to him, well, I have not been to Australia, so I'm talking on behalf of Dr. Zia. That there is a lots of diverse nature. Again, it's a beautiful country. The weather is amazing. A lot of my friends have moved to Australia. A few of my colleagues, Dr. Zia himself is there. Recently, one of the junior doctors who came to UK after doing the PLAB, he worked with us for a year, and he's gone to Australia as well. So all of those people have high praises for Australia. Beautiful country, it seems. The weather is amazing, multicultural. Similarly to UK, they have free public school education and healthcare system there as well. Medicine in Australia, again, well-recognized system, which once you clear, you are recognized in most of the countries. Very well-paid positions. So I think the pay is better than UK, it seems, over there. And again, great training opportunities. Again, this is very important. So for Western countries, this is what we like. So the competition is there, which I was talking about, but it is fair and equal opportunities. So although it is competitive, you will have a fair and equal chance to compete with everyone. Not like in India, where everybody knows rich have a better are in much privileged position. So getting into Australia, like I was trying to show in my other slides, there are 3 pathways through which you can come to Australia or go to Australia. Sorry, I'm not in Australia. So the standard competent pathway, the standard competent and specialist pathway. The standard pathway is the AMC exams. There are 2 exams, AMC 1, MCQ, and AMC 2, which is clinical. Competent pathway is something similar to the membership exams here in UK, which Dr. Atif was talking about. So you do your PG in internal medicine, say, or you have done your MS in surgery. So, sorry, I'm getting confused. See, that's the problem. There is the specialist pathway. Competent pathway is the one which I was talking about. The after clearing PLAB, if you have 1 year of experience in UK, you can go to Australia to work there. So that is the competent pathway, meaning that you have completed your training or you have work experience from a competent country. So that stands for UK, USA, Canada, and I think New Zealand. Yes. So these are the 4 countries. If you have work experience from these 4 countries, you can go to Australia without writing your AMC exams. And the third pathway is the specialist pathway, which I was telling about, that if you have done your MS or MD, then you can show your portfolio that I have worked in this, I have a recognized qualification in this field, and then you apply through their college. Royal Australian College of Physicians, Royal Australian College of Surgeons. So you apply to that particular college, show them your specialist degree and your specialist portfolio. And if they accept your training, then they will give you license to practice there. So the standard pathway, which is we are going to discuss today, is the AMC. So you need to have a medical qualification, again, which we discussed earlier, that World Dictionary of Medical Schools. Your college should be registered with that. So most of us don't have a problem. Then you register with an organization called EPIC or ECFMG, which is used in Australia, to get your medical qualification approved. Again, this is one step less in UK. So in UK, you don't have to do this. You just have to apply through this World Dictionary Medical School. If it is recognized there, then your degree is recognized. But in Australia, they ask you another set of qualification that you need to go through the process. Then you registered with the AMC, and then you create a portfolio with them and sign up for the exams. Once you clear your exams, then you apply for an interview, and then if you clear the interview, you get a job. So job sources can be seen on their local websites, it seems, local state websites and college websites. Again, you need to have your English proficiency test as well. So IELTS or OET, you need to have it. This is a bit different from UK, where you do not need to have English test for sitting the AMC exams. So you, before writing your IELTS, you can start preparing for your AMC exams. But whereas in UK, you have to write your IELTS first and then prepare for the exams, right? This is different there. So you can write your exams, but to register and start practicing, you need to have a English proficiency test as well. So yes, so coming to the standard pathway, the AMC pathway, you apply to the AHPRA, the Australian Health Practitioner Regulatory Agency, which is like a GMC there. So the GMC, which we have here in UK, it's called as AHPRA in Australia. This is their website through which you can gain access. So you registered with them, and again, it says no matter how experienced you are or highly qualified, as an IMG, you need to work at least for 1 year under supervision, and this is paid. So this is again bit different from UK. So after clearing your AMC, you need to have you need 1 year of work experience under supervision there, like doing an internship again. So it doesn't matter you have done MD, doesn't matter if you have done DM as well. You need to have 1 year of internship there in Australia. Undertake any supervised rotations, and then apply and receive your full registration. So basically the steps here are AMC exam, 1 year of internship there, registration with AHPRA, and that's when you receive your full registration. Talking about the AMC exam itself, exam is difficult. He says no, but it's a fair exam. Again, I keep shouting that all the time. The exams, the training pathways, the qualification process is very fair. So everybody will get an equal chance. Depends on you how skillful you are to qualify, basically. It has 150 exams, MCQs, sorry, for 3.5 hours. Again, covers the basics, general medicine, ops. It's more clinical oriented rather than the anatomy and physiology. It's more clinical oriented. 4 to 6 months of preparation time. Sources: AMC handbook, mock exams, and recalls. Again, online materials are available. And then yes, so possibility of finding a job. So this is again something unique. So if you are very good, so let's say your portfolio is excellent, you have done lots of stuff, lots of training, lots of audits, quality improvement projects, you have publications on your name. So if your portfolio looks very strong, you can actually find a job even after just clearing your AMC 1. So before even clearing your AMC 2, if your portfolio is strong with good clinical experience, then you can secure a job even after step 1. But again, obviously, the best chance is after you clear both your steps. Coming to AMC clinical, again, very similar to UK system. So both these exams are very similar. Part 1 is MCQ based, part 2 is clinical based. MCQ is your basic knowledge, clinical, theoretical knowledge. Part 2 is your clinical application of that knowledge. So again, similarly, you will have 16 OSCE stations. It will be divided in 2 parts. and you will have to pass 10 stations to be successful. So out of 16, if you pass 10 of the stations, then you are considered pass. It might, yeah, again, this depends on your skills, basically. 6 months at least, he said that people should invest time for preparing the structure and systematic questioning patterns. But again, it depends how well prepared you are. Again, highly recommended to practice with a study partner or a mentor. So like for the PLAB exam, which there are a lot of academies are available to prepare for, that's not the scenario with the AMC. Our academy is one of the, I would not say only, but very few academies which provide this AMC clinical training. Moving forward, cost-wise, this is very expensive, as you can see. I've already told. So the EPIC registration takes about 350 Australian dollars. Portfolio 640, AMC Part 1 3,000 dollars. Clinical is again almost 5,000, 4,400. So yes, although it's quite expensive, but like Dr. Zia said, that the pay is very good, so you will earn them back in just 2 to 3 months. So the initial investment is there, but again, return is also good. So in a nutshell, Australian medical journey is challenging, as with any, like we were just discussing, but with the right guidance, it will be a smooth, much easier and straightforward compared to Canada, United States, and other European countries. Working in Australia is more soul-filling than one can imagine with the excellent work-life balance. Again, I stress so much on this work-life balance. It is so important. At this day and age, you will not realize, but once you start having family, this aspect of your life will become the most crucial. If you don't have a work-life balance, then the family life get messed up and a lot of things happen. But anyways, so yes, Australia also provide a very good work-life balance. And again, that's what he said. So again, there's a lot of myth that Australia is a very racist country. They don't like IMGs there, blah, blah, blah. But that's what he says. He has not experienced that anytime. Quite supportive and quite helpful people over there, it seems. Okay, so good luck and thank you on behalf of Dr. Zia. I'll end my presentation and yeah, happy to take some questions.
Yes, sir. A big thank you to you, Dr. Aman, sir, for walking us through both the AMC and PLAB pathways with such clarity. So the way you shared not just the facts but also your own perspective has made the whole picture so much easier for us to understand. So can we have a short Q&A session now? For
Sure.
AMC? Okay.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, Sahela. So yeah, I've posted the question link in the chat box. Yeah, please be free to ask. Sir, this is my question, sir. So, why out of all, so we have AMC, USMLE, why choosing PLAB, sir, like UK? So, what was the point that made you choose this, sir?
The point it made me choose was, first of all, I mean, again, I did not have this information. I just followed my seniors because nobody told me this. Nobody discussed about this. All the people discussed about USMLE, which was very difficult. And the thing which put me off from the USMLE was that even after working hard and even after securing good scores in my exams, my application would be dependent on LORs, letter of recommendations from other people. I'm sure your next speaker
Yes.
will be able to highlight that. And I hated that aspect. I mean, I'm working hard, I'm doing all the hard work, and now I'm dependent on somebody else recommendations. So I didn't wanted that. I wanted freedom in my own hand. If I work hard, I should get the thing which I deserve. If I don't work hard, then I should not get the thing which I don't deserve. So it should be in my hand. But I had so many friends of mine who had great USMLE scores. I think in that era it was about this how many percentage scores you will get. But they could not get a match because again, no, like I think recommendations were not there or whatever reason. So for some stupid, silly reasons. So that's the reason I didn't approach USMLE. For Australia, I had no idea. Nobody talked about Australia. Nobody discussed about Australia. Australia was not in the discussion in Indian community in those days. So had no idea. So then UK was there, and then like I said, it's cheaper to prepare compared to other exams, which I have already shown. AMC is quite an expensive exam. USMLE quite an expensive exam. UK was
So when we do clerkships or
much better.
when we do clerkships or observerships in UKs, so we don't have to get any letter of recommendations then. It is only just to mention it in our resume.
So once you do the observership, you do get a LOR, right? So once you come for a clinical observership, you will be assigned a supporter or a mentor. So that mentor guides you through that observership, and at the end of that observership, you'll have a meeting with that mentor, like what you have learned, what you have understand, how it has helped, and he will write everything that in a paper. So UK is everything about evidence. Whatever you do, even if you sneeze, you'll have to write it down on a piece of paper. Oh, I was doing a shift and I sneezed 2 times. Literally, it's like that. So everything you will have to, you have to make an evidence of what you're doing, and it goes into your portfolio. So the whole system knows that. So your supervisor will anyway give your LOR.
Yes, sir. Do we need CCT before moving to Australia?
No. So if you want to, like I said, if you give PLAB and you have 1 year of experience in UK, then you can work in Australia. So my friend, my junior, Dr. Samad, his name is, he was with us last year doing the PLAB and did the UK. He worked with us for a year. He applied for a training here in UK, could not get. He decided, no, I want to go to Australia. So he's in Australia right now. So after PLAB and 1 year of UK experience, you can go to Australia. After CCT also, you can go to Australia. But after CCT, you will go into a consultant position. So you'll directly become a consultant there. You can apply for a consultant job, basically, which
Okay.
few of my friends have done.
What is the news of NHS failing and saturation of IMG in Australia, sir? So,
Sorry, NHS?
NSH, so how even the same questions, the saturation of IMG, Indian medical graduates in Australia, international medical graduates.
Oh, I mean, yes, we Indians are everywhere, aren't we? We just want to be there everywhere. So yes, again, like I said, competition is increasing now because the awareness is more, or events like this are happening regularly. So people are more aware. So a lot of Indian students are moving towards Australia as well. So again, competition is becoming high, and you will have to shine in that competition basically. And how do you shine? That is something we'll discuss and we help students with. But yeah. Competition is increasing. It's not as high as in US and UK, but it is getting higher and higher.
How much time would it
Sorry.
take to get yes?
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to add on that point. So Australia, a lot of people say that competition is less there. Agree, it is less, but it is in periphery. So Australia is a huge. It's a continent. So they have a lot of rural areas, small towns. So big cities, competition is way too high. Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, Perth, very highly competitive. Very difficult to find a job there. But you have jobs in the rural area. So if you are okay in living in a rural part or less developed part, then it's easy. Australia will feel easier to get into. But if you want a job in a big city like Melbourne, Sydney, whoa, yeah, higher than the UK, I would say.
Yeah. Again, what is the duration of completing MRCS and other Royal College courses?
So Royal College courses, it depends. Is it from India itself? Writing the exams in India?
They didn't mention itself, but yeah, sir. Do tell in India.
Most probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So you need to have 2 years of clinical experience. So suppose if you're writing MRCP, that is Member of Royal College of Physicians, you need at least 2 years of experience in internal medicine. If you're writing MRCS, that is surgery, you need to have 2 years of surgical experience. MRCEM, 2 years of emergency experience. MRCOG, 2 years. So 2 years basically in your specialty, whichever exam you're writing in that particular specialty, you need to have at least 2 years of experience.
Okay, so how is pursuing PG in emergency medicine different by writing PLAB and as compared to MRCEM?
So MRCEM route is easier. So I wrote same MRCEM. There is always demand for emergency medicine doctors. So getting into UK is much easier through MRCEM. So if you write MRCEM exams, there are a lot of jobs available, and you don't have to write the PLAB again. So just by writing MRCEM, you can get into. So membership exams gives you that edge compared to PLAB. And in the membership exams, MRCEM gives you even higher edge because the demand for emergency medicine doctors is higher here.
Okay, so do we apply for FY2 standalone program after PLAB or how to apply it?
Yes, after PLAB. So again, we help student with the standalone program as well. So it is a bit difficult to explain in such a short notice. Anybody who's interested, I'm happy to have a one-on-one session with them. But basically, what you do is you complete your PLAB 1, start applications for the FY2, and before getting a job or before coming to UK, you need to have your GMC registration. So you can start your application. In theory, you can start your application even before writing your PLAB 2. But to have that job, you need to be GMC registered, for which you need PLAB 2 anyway. So in a nutshell, you need full GMC registration before you come and start doing your job here on the F2 standalone program.
So yeah, CVs are considered a lot, right, sir, to work in UK or only the
anywhere. I'm sure the next speaker will talk how important it is to have your CV. Exams is everybody's writing exams, right? Everybody has written exam. Everybody's passing. Everybody's MBBS. No, you need to have your portfolio. You need to build your CV. You need to have audits. You need to have quality improvement projects, and that is what our academy is. We are really pushing forwards for. We are teaching students how to do this because our professors, our Indian medical system doesn't teach us. Doesn't tell us what to do. So because we have done this here in UK, we are in a much better position to explain how these things can be done.
Yes, sir. What is the scope of doing PG in Singapore after MBBS in India?
Scope of PG in Singapore, I am not 100% sure. I had a friend who works there after she was working with me as an emergency medicine in India, and then she has moved to Singapore. They say the pay is very good, work is very good, but again, I think work-life balance is not good. The job is a bit tough. It's long hours. Working hours are a bit long than compared to other part. But yes, Singapore is also good.
Yes, sir.
Singapore is good. Germany, a lot of people are going to Germany. Two of my friends have gone into Germany and they have got into training. So one of my junior did anesthesia in India, gone to Germany, and now he's doing cardiothoracic anesthesia in Germany. But again, language is a big barrier. So if you're good at learning languages, you can give it a try. I was terrible at learning languages, so I never thought about that. But yes, so Germany, a lot of people are going. And Ireland, a lot of students come, a lot of Indian students come to Ireland, which is again a English-speaking country. Have I not stopped sharing my screen?
No, sir. Yeah, now it's fine, sir.
Yeah. So yes, Ireland, Germany, Switzerland, Sweden, Norway. So all these places you can work, but you need to know the language. France, people go to France as well, but you need to learn their language. So if language is not a barrier, you can explore these options. but obviously English-speaking countries becomes easy for us.
Yes, sir. So what about the permanent residents in Australia and UK? So how many years
Yes,
after?
Australia gives you PR in 3 years. 3 years? I think no. In UK it is 5 years, and after getting a PR, one more year you will get your passport. And so in 6 years you will become a British citizen. In Australia, I think it is 3 years of PR. So
Okay.
in 3 years you will get a PR in Australia.
So going to Middle East after directly completing MBBS, sir. So how far it is good before writing PLAB or yeah.
Yeah, so going to Middle East, it is good to earn money. So your salary would be good compared to India, but you will still be a MBBS doctor. Career progression is not great in Middle East. There is no recognized training pathways. Even if there are, it's highly competitive and mostly reserved for their students. They don't like the idea of fairness and equality that much. So doing training in you, so you can do a job there and earn better money as compared to India, but you will have less opportunity for training. Although there is a pathway in Qatar, where if you have done your USMLE steps, you can apply for their training. But again, I'm not like not completely sure about how that pathway works, but a few of my colleagues have done that.
Okay, so there are various pathways for AMC. One of them is competent authority pathway for which Indians don't traditionally qualify. However, if we
Yes.
will be eligible of if we pass PLAB 1 and PLAB 2. So if so, do we have to take AMC 1 and 2 again, or is PLAB eligibility is enough to pass and qualify for training in Australia?
If you have the competent pathways, basically that you need to have 1 year of work experience in that competent country.
Okay.
So yes, so after giving PLAB, you need to work at least for 1 year in UK before you can go to Australia. And at that moment, you don't need AMC. So you'll be exempted from writing AMC if you have 1 year of work experience in a competent country. USA, UK, New Zealand, Canada. So in any of these countries, if you have 1 year of experience, you can go to Australia without and start practicing without doing the AMC.
Okay, so in as IMGs in starting, do we get posted in outskirts of the country or and not the main cities? Like, is it true or how is it?
Yeah, yes, in Australia, yes, because like I said, the competition in the cities is high, so it's difficult to get jobs there. Again, not impossible if you build the portfolio under the right guidance. But it's not necessary. It's not like a rule that you will be posted there only. No matter what you do, you will be posted there. It's not a rule, but because our portfolios will not be that strong compared to the people who are already in Australia, we will lack, and then we get selected into rural areas. But it's not a rule.
Yes, sir. So, what are the requirements for MRCS and FRCEM? So, kind of all the requirements they're asking, sir.
Yes, so you have their exams. You have to write step 1, step 2, step 3. For MRCS, there are 2 parts. MRCP have 3 parts. So it varies. Different colleges have different requirements. Again, it will have to do a personal session for that
Yeah.
because it's such a long list. So you can do psychiatry, you can do ophthalmology, you can do medicine, surgery, pediatrics, OBG, pathology, microbiology. So everything can be done. Every specialty which we have, they also have, and they call it a membership, the Royal College of that particular specialty, and they have their different set and rules. So one of my friends, wife, she did MD pathology in India, and now she's working as a pathologist here after writing there. MRC Path exams.
Nice, sir. Okay, so we'll be ending the Q&A session, sir. So, everyone, if you have further doubts, please contact sir personally. And thank you so much, sir, Dr. Aman, sir, for patiently answering all the questions and guiding us with such honesty and clarity. Yeah, we truly appreciate
No
your
worries, no
time,
worries.
sir, and effort you've taken to share your journey and advice. Thanks. It means a lot, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Like I said, I'll share the contact details for our academy. Anybody wants to contact us, they can do that. We have portfolio courses, and we have recently launched upskill courses called Embrace, where we will give you training in basic procedures that you need to have as a competency when you work into international organizations. There are 15 set of skills that everybody needs to know how to do. That is like putting a catheter, putting IV cannulas. So we have developed a course. Hopefully that would be helpful for you guys. Actually, a lot of medical students don't get trained. I mean, we are thrown into the system and just do it, right? Just go and perform. But this course it's under a simulation. It will be a simulation based course that would be helpful. So yeah, happy to share the details of our academy with you guys, and be in touch. All the best, and thank you so much for having me here. I might just yeah, I might just hang around for the US thing, because I have my own doubts about US.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Great.
Okay. Thank you, Aman sir.
Thank you so much.
So to guide us through the next pathway, which is USMLE, we are joined by Dr. Sree Mahathi Chavali, ma'am. She is a PGY2 pediatric resident at New York Presbyterian Hospital, with diverse experience ranging from clinical externships to research and medical scribing in the US. Dr. Chavali, ma'am, will walk us through the USMLE pathway and what it takes to make it in the US. Everybody, please welcome her.
Hi guys, very nice to meet you. Thank you for the introduction. As Sahalia just said, my name is Mahathi. I'm a PEDS PGY2. And honestly, if you ask me what I'm like, how I enjoy my job right now, I think I love it. The best part of my day is going to the hospital, taking care of all these kids, and being able to see a variety of pathology and learning from all of that. So before I jump into my presentation, just a little bit about me and how I did med school. So I was born in India. I grew up in the US up until high school, and then I went back for high school as well as med school. I did my MBBS at GSL Medical College in Rajahmundry, and then I came back to the US to do my residency. If you like, it's been a ride. Honestly, I've seen the best of both worlds here and there, and then I think choosing to come back is probably one of the best choices that I've made. And then I really enjoy what I do, and I'm happy to share what I do with you guys as well. So without further ado, let's step into why USMLE in the first place. So USMLE is something that all medical students have heard, right? It's one of the first exams that is thrown out there with NEET PG. Like, oh, do you want to do NEET PG versus USMLE versus PLAB? Those are the like top three that you would hear about. And why would you choose USMLE, right? So coming to our pros and cons list, you see that you have your choice. You have, for example, if you know what specialty you want to go into, you have your choice to go into that. So you can cater your application. You could make sure that you work towards your interviews, your networking, all of that to pick and be in the specialty that you want. Provided, yes, I agree, surgical specialties are a little bit harder to match into versus, primary care specialties. But not to say that people have never matched into them, right? So there's always a chance if you can build up your CV in such a way that you are a strong applicant, no one is ever going to say no. Another thing is, better salary, independence, you get to experience life outside in a different country. So, and exposure to, different pathologies. Some things that you see, for example, some things that I've more prominently seen in India while doing my med school versus what I see now is vastly different. You could say, you know, I had seen like a higher rate of tuberculosis, where here in the US, I don't see tuberculosis as much. I see a lot of sickle cell. And then I've seen like measles, like especially with the measles endemic, all of these things that we don't more or less see back in India, the wide range of pathology. So you're exposed to more of these different things, and you will learn to be adept at all of these pathologies. So I think that's also very one of the reasons that, you know, someone would choose USMLE. More opportunities, and as I said, you get to pick your specialty and choose or sort of drive the way that you want your life to be in general. Some of the things that you also want to think about while you're applying to USMLE, definitely it can be a long process. It varies from person to person. It's a very case dependent thing how you take it. It is expensive initially, but your compensation will definitely be worth all of that. Again, you will be moving to a new country. If you don't have an established support system, it might be a very big cultural shock, because one, not only are you learning medicine, but you're also learning to adapt to a different environment, which can be very stressful, which can be a lot, because as a resident, I'm working about 80 hours a week already if I'm on shift, and, you know, coming home, having to cook for yourself, taking care of yourself, all of those things, they involve a lot of, you know, time, strength, and just a lot of investment of yourself in it. So definitely, those are some things to think about. And you will get homesick. You will definitely miss, you know, if you've seen life at one particular area and then you're moving to a completely the other side of the world, you are going to miss a lot of what, you know, home feels like. So you will have to learn to work and incorporate that into your residency lifestyle as well. So moving on, what are the components of USMLE, and why, you know, what are some things that you have to get through to, you know, become matched or become a resident? I like to compare it to assembling a cake, right? You have your cake, you need your frosting, you want to pick out your flavors. Do you want, you know, chocolate frosting? Do you want vanilla? Do you want decorations on top of it? Do you want sprinkles? All of those things it's a combination of all of these things to build your CV and to make yourself, you know, ready for the match. Start off with, obviously your step 1, step 2, those are your two main exams. Coming to step 1, you have, it's an 8-hour test. It's a very long test and the questions are very long. You will have to learn how to read very fast. And it's the way that we learn or do MBBS in India is quite different from how the USMLE exams are structured. So the way you would have to, I guess, change your learning patterns, trying to like, because it's more like a written exam versus, you know, now we're in multiple choice where you have like an entire case scenario that you have to read, analyze, as well as be able to answer in less than a minute, give or take, right? So you have an 8-hour exam. It's 280 questions that is, you know, divided into 1-hour blocks each. And then it pulls from a lot of things. I'm sorry, my voice isn't clear.
It's audible.
It's audible? Okay. Yeah, sorry about that if some of you guys can't hear it. But yeah, so you are pulling a lot of information. How the USMLE exams are structured is even if they want to ask you a basic biochemistry question, they're going to give you an entire case. So they were going to start off with, you know, a 33-year-old female with past medical history, so and so, and they will give you an entire gist of this case that you will have to at the end of the you know, the question stem would be, you know, what kind of metabolic disease or what kind of enzyme deficiency does this person have? So you have to learn to sort of weed out the correct, I wouldn't say buzzwords per se, but more or less, you know, you're trying to weed out what the actual, what they are actually asking you without wasting your time, and then also being able to analyze the given clues or the hidden clues with your context information. Coming to step two, we're taking it up a notch. It's now a 9-hour exam, which is grueling. Trust me, I hated going through these things. But it's a given evil. We have to. So step two is basically a 318 question exam, give or take, and we're taking it up a notch. So basic sciences, now we're incorporating more clinical skill. After you finish these two steps, we have, as IMGs, we have to write the OET, which is the Occupational English Test. It contains competence of like speaking, reading, writing, as well as, listening. These are all English skills that one must have in order to, one, pass, as well as, be able to efficiently communicate with not just your patients, but even with your colleagues, and sort of learn through what is, like, for example, grammatically correct, or ways that words are used throughout language, or even like colloquialism as well. And last but not least, after all of these three tests, we also have step three. Step three is basically a 2-hour exam that's 8 hours each day. Trust me, it's probably the worst of all of them. I can attest to that. And with not just the multiple choice questions, now you have CCS cases. So CCS cases are basically simulations. They're like video games, and you're given cases for which you have to be the doctor. So you're ordering all the tests, you're analyzing all the imaging versus, diagnosing the patient, providing treatment, all of this at once. You're trying to put together in a simulated environment. So you have to be really on top of your game to try to figure out all of these things. And when I say this to you guys, it can be very overwhelming, but if you take it one step at a time, I think definitely it's something to tackle, and many people have gotten through with it with flying colors. So once you have all these steps, next what you have is you're correct. Next, you're going to apply for your ECMFG certification. So your ECMFG certification basically means that your MBBS in India that you had, the degree that you had gotten, is now equivalent to a US medical degree, which is the MD, as they say in the US. So applying, so once you have your step 1, step 2, and OET, you are good to apply to your ECMFG certification. And this will allow you a higher chance of matching. As I said, matching consists of a lot of components. One of them is your USMLE steps to get your ECMFG certification, and all of these other aspects that you have to add on to your CV. So now we baked the cake. Now we're trying to decorate it, right? We finished your steps, and now we want to add in more things to our CV to make sure that, oh, look, I'm a good candidate. This is what makes me stand out. Some of those things include United States clinical experience. You have your extracurricular activities, leadership roles, research, you have volunteer positions, jobs, and then by working through all of these, you're gonna actually gain letters of recommendation, which will show that, oh, look, this person has been doing very well, is very consistent, and has set goals, and they have these qualities that will help them make an amazing resident or an amazing doctor in this specialty. And to top it off, I guess the cherry on the cake, a lot of people will tell you, is networking. You have to make your connections. There are so many people that, come into the US as IMGs, and there's so many things, because everyone comes from different backgrounds, and they've done it differently. I know some people have written USMLE straight out of MBBS. Some people, take gap years. They take time to study, sort of incorporate everything into their lives, and they'll set that path onwards. Some people take breaks. They take significant gaps between, their MBBS/MD and then coming to the US and then starting afresh. So all of these people can provide you various aspects of their experience that can help you sort of, I guess, pan out how you want your journey to turn out, right? So that's why networking is so important. And honestly, you never know who can actually help you. You make friends, and then someday, in case, for example, you weren't able to match, they can let you know if they have an open spot at their residency program, right? So I'll come to all the questions later once I finish, so we can talk about more tips about networking and all of these things, okay? So yeah, let's go take a look. So what is United States clinical experience? So in order for you to gain more experience so you've seen what the Indian medical system is like. Whereas when you're coming in as a resident, you're coming into the American medical system. So clinical experience sort of helps you rotate into the American medical system before you start residency, right? Before you apply to MASH. It'll give you a feel about, how documentation is done, how procedures or protocols are put up in place in different hospitals, in different states, in different units. What are some things that, doctors look for? What are some things that, how bedside manner, examination is done? And each attending that you rotate with has their each individual way of doing things. So you also will be able to pick up on these tidbits, and they will help you develop better as a diagnostician as well as a physician. So usually most people come in couple of months before they apply to MASH. So they'll do maybe like 3 to 4 rotations that will help them, or the clinical experience that will help them gain letters of recommendation. And obviously, a US-based letter of recommendation is a much stronger weightage than if you were to get it in your home country of residency, right? Because if you work here, they'll understand that, oh, this person knows this well, or they can clearly state or write like very strong letters of recommendation for you. Next, coming to research. So right now we see that, being a doctor, you have to be very well-rounded. And a heavy portion of that is academics, which includes research. So participating in research, poster presentations, oral presentations, QI projects, publishing papers. These are all some things that really add in weight to your CV, especially if you're applying to like competitive specialties such as like surgery. All of those require a higher number of publications or a higher quota of research that they look forward to. And if you want to match into like an academic setting, for example, John Hopkins or a big university program, research is very heavy. They require their residents to publish research or, go do presentations or attend conferences. So that's something to also keep in mind to help, diversify your application. Next, we have, as I was talking about, letters of recommendation. So when you're submitting your ERAS or your match application, you are required to submit a total of 3 letters of recommendation, preferably, obviously, if they're from US-based doctors. You can put in a total of 4. So for example, if you have 3 US letters and you have 1 from your home country, definitely put that in. It can definitely add weightage. Another thing that I've seen people do is I've had people do 3 medical or, clinical letters of recommendation, and then they have 1 research letter of recommendation that they can add on. So that shows that, oh, you can work in different settings and people are, willing to work with you. Plus also you have the skill set that you can portray and transfer over into residency. Again, you can make all of these mentors while you're rotating, while, you are working in your home country as well. They're great assets to helping you, jumpstart your residency application. So far, we've dealt with lots of academics, and as I said, being a doctor in the US, you want to be holistic. So if you have extracurricular activities, singing, dancing, sports, cooking, photography, you collect things at a professional level, those are some things that you definitely want to incorporate, because no one wants to sit in an interview and just discuss your research papers. They want to know you as a person, right? They want to know, what do you do for fun? What do you do to de-stress? What are some activities that you enjoy outside of the hospital? And if those are some things that you can develop, that definitely, one, makes you a very strong candidate. And in interviews, it gives you something to talk about, right? Interviews, you don't always want to sit and talk about medicine. People want to know you outside. Who are you as a person if you take away medicine? So those are some aspects that you want to bring forth or shed light on. And as I said, it definitely really helps your application. Next, after that, you also want to take up leadership roles. being a doctor, you are in charge of a lot. You are responsible for not only your patients, you're responsible for your co-residents, your interns, or your juniors that are coming in. You're responsible for teaching med students. It could be your nurses, your floor staff, you have your respiratory therapist. So you are going to be in charge, and anyone has a question about a patient, they're going to be running to you. You are the first contact, and you have to find a way where you can incorporate your leadership skills, designate tasks, assign roles. So if you right now are able to maintain a position in, for example, any organization that you take part in, you know, even in like your MBBS, your school or class, that you're a class representative, or that you're class president, something like that. Those are very strong characteristics that show a residency program that, oh, this person can handle this responsibility. And later on, as you progress, not only will they assign you more responsibility per se, but they may offer you different positions, such as a chief resident. They might later on ask you to come on as an attending. So you want to build up all this leadership traits, especially early on, to show that, you know, you are the boss and you can be the boss at any point of time, right? Apart from, you know, your extracurriculars and your leadership activities, you also want to try to do some volunteer work. As doctors, we don't have much time, but giving back, we are helping society, but also I think it's important to give back to society as well. So not only can it be a hospital volunteering position, you can volunteer at local NGOs, something that resonates with you. If you want to volunteer at the Blue Cross, if you want to advocate for like pets, animals, all of those things, those are some things that you want to, again, take charge of, you want to put into your application as well, and find time to, you know, take a step away from medicine and sort of really think about what you want to do in other parts of your life. For example, giving back, you can help, you know, it doesn't have to be people per se. Again, it could be volunteering with, you know, non-medical things. You can be helping out. You can set up food banks. You can set up, you know, educate on like menstrual hygiene. All of these things, those are all incorporated into these volunteering positions. And if, for example, if you are applying to OBGYN, if you take your time out and you're going to educate, you know, adolescent girls on, you know, menstrual hygiene, those are some things that, you know, people or programs look for. So you are taking charge of you, not only your education per se, but you're also helping your community, you know, be one, educated, and also providing resources for them to grow and develop and to provide, you know, safety and security for them. So those are some things to actually really think about, because if you're especially going to primary care, you know that you know, preventive care is obviously better than the cure. And if you take time out to volunteer for different causes and bring towards or shed light on these things, those definitely will make you stand out or become a superstar. While juggling medicine, it's very hard to do, I guess, not study, right? You are so busy studying, preparing for these tests. But if you have the chance, definitely try to do some clinical job to stay clinically relevant. That could be a medical scribe. It could be a medical assistant. You could work as a research coordinator, care coordinator. You could do admin jobs in the hospital. Why are these important, right? So being in the hospital, you tend to realize how the system works. You need not be clinically doing anything. You could be, you know, working at the front desk, at reception. So you will, from when a patient enters the hospital, you will sort of realize all the steps that they go through. And that will help you, give you like a better understanding of how the system works. And it will make you a stronger candidate for residency programs, because they don't have to teach you from scratch. They're not going to be like, oh, so for example, if you did, I worked as a scribe. And so before I started residency, I had experience with our EMR system, which is Epic, right? Our hospital uses Epic as well. So I was able to, you know, maneuver through Epic, put in orders much quicker than most of my co-residents, because I've worked with Epic before. So these are strong experiences that, you know, programs do look for, because they don't have to reteach you all of these things. Once you've gained a skill and you can master it, it makes their life easier, as well as it makes your life easier as well. So you're not, you know, you can concentrate more time on actually, you know, doing medicine rather than all these admin works that you have to sort of run through or, you know, learn about. And as I said, networking. Networking is very important. You don't know who's going to help you at any point of time, right? So reach out. LinkedIn, great resource. Instagram, great resource. I know a lot of people, you know, turn off Instagram while they're studying for their steps, but there are pages that post a lot of information with regards to match. It could be like open houses. It can be, you know, any residency opening spots, all of these things. So those are something you want to keep your eye out for. If you've, you know, connected with someone on LinkedIn and, you know, they're working in a hospital, they're rotating in somewhere, don't hesitate to reach out. Be like, oh, how did you get this rotation? I know a lot of people have reached out to me previously, and still do. They're like, oh, where did you do this rotation? I can sort of help them with, you know, providing resources on where they can find that rotation or any specific thing like that. I personally run an Instagram page. It's called Scrubby MD. So where I post my residency journey, you know, any open houses, any open spots for residency programs. Those are some things that, you know, I frequently put up. So, you know, the information spreads and it could be useful to someone as well, right? So always reach out and, you know, go to conferences, go to, like, you know, Project IMG has an event. So when they're doing these conferences or USMLE summits, go to them, because you will meet so many different people. You will meet people that are on the same journey as you that can help you with your journey, as well as, you know, you will realize that, as I say, USMLE can be a very lonely journey because you might not have seniors to help you. You might not know anybody that's on the path. And working with people, talking to these people, you pick up little bits and pieces that can help you on your own journey, and later you can help other people, right? So, you know, keep an eye out there. As we've discussed, step 3. So step 3 is, I know a lot of people as IMGs tend to like to finish it off because it makes their application stronger. So if you have time for step 3 before or even during interview season, definitely go for it and try to finish it off. If you're applying to a specialty besides internal medicine, for example, pediatrics, you will never treat I would never treat an adult. So if a 68-year-old walked in with an MI, I'm not going to be treating that in my day-to-day basis, right? So that's something that I really don't think about. So that, for me, that was an advantage because I finished step 3 off before I started my pediatrics residency. And I know a lot of my co-residents struggled because they were trying to, you know, study internal medicine again while they were actually, you know, practicing pediatrics, which can be a very hard struggle. Trust me, especially on shift when you're working n number of hours, you're tired, you're exhausted. So that's something that you want to get out of the way as quickly as possible. And then, yes, so all of these culminate to applying to the match. You're preparing your CV for that. You're writing your USMLE steps for that. You're doing all these like volunteer work, leadership roles, jobs, and sort of bringing together your application. So why is this important? So when you are applying, you are going to apply through the ERAS system right now, and programs can see you on paper. So that means they can see your scores. They can see your CV, what you did so far. And then you also have to write a personal statement, which is basically an essay of sorts where you sort of present yourself. You're presenting yourself, you're answering the questions of why did you choose medicine in the first place? Why are you choosing the specialty? And you bring it a personal touch. You give it your little spin of what brought you here and what made you the doctor you are today, right? So these are all very objective things. Programs don't know you, you don't know the program. So when you're sitting down for an interview, you will get a vibe of the program, and as much as they are judging you, you're also judging them. You'll be thinking about, oh, do I fit into this program? Do I think I can, make it work with my co-residents? Do, the seniors seem friendly enough? Do the attendings seem friendly enough? Am I a good fit? Basically, all of these questions are what's running. So you can have a university program in hand and you might not like it. And you might prefer a community program over that. So that's totally okay. And you go through a number of emotions while applying to the match. And I think being on top of the paperwork is probably the most, I guess, thing that you can control. Everything else, getting interviews, doing well in interviews, those are some things you can't control. But your paperwork, which includes your scores as well as your CV, your personal statement, all of those things are some things that you can control. And I think you should put in a lot of effort there in order to make that top notch, right? And now coming to red flags. A lot of people ask me, they're like, oh, I had a low step score, or, I have more than 5 years of graduation. It all depends on how you spin it, right? It all depends on how you spin it. If you had learned from your low score, so for example, you didn't pass step 1 and you passed on the second attempt. What did you learn from your first attempt and your second attempt? That's what the program directors are looking for. How did you grow from one phase to another, right? It doesn't matter that you failed. It matters of what you became of it. If you have more than 5 years of graduation, did you stay clinically relevant? What was happening? I mean, life is different for all of us. It's not going to be the same. So is there something that, changed at that point of life? And what made you come back to residency? I mean, some people get married, some people have children, some people have a loss in the family. Some people are moving countries for various other reasons. So if you have a strong reason and you can tell your side of the story and that makes sense to your timeline, I don't think that would per se be a red flag to anybody. Other things that you really want to look out for, as I said, you want to make your paperwork the strongest. So that means try to stay away from like weak letters of recommendation. Don't chat GPT stuff. Actually personally write it. It makes a big difference. Practice your interview skills. Sitting in front of a camera is very, very nerve-wracking. Not all of us are good orators. Some of us struggle. Some of us are shy. So you really want to practice your communication skills, talking with other people. Sitting in front of the mirror might not do it. You might have to be speaking to somebody else, and they might have to be interactive and responsive. So definitely get on top of that in the very beginning, because if you think, I'm going to sit in front of the interview, I can be funny, I can, I'm a funny guy, I can, wing it, it's not going to happen. Not all of us can do that. So those are some things that you really, really want to look out for before you submit your application for the match. So coming back to what is the goal of USMLE, right? Those of us that write USMLE or go through the process, we want to be resident physicians. Later on, we want to be fellows. Maybe we want to specialize in cardiology. Maybe we want to become gastroenterologists. Maybe we want to work in emergency medicine. So all of these things, we want to work as a doctor in the US. That's basically the underlying statement. We are exposed to a very new environment. We learn different pathologies, we learn different procedures, different clinical aspects that we may not have seen previously. Again, we work as a person that has seen both sides of the coin. I think I would be able to best fit or adapt to different structures of, hospital admin versus, working in a rural clinical setup. So it's like how you can juggle from one thing to another. And again, preparing for fellowship and then settling down in life. How do you see your life? Where do you see your work-life balance? I know there's a very, I would say 50-50 mix. I know some people prefer outpatient and they don't want to work in shift at all. I know other people, aka me, who would prefer shift all the time, and I hate doing clinics. So you can sort of vent out your path on how you want to see your lifestyle ahead of you. and you want to establish yourself, right? Now you're a doctor, you're going to establish yourself, you're going to create your patient population, and you're going to build up your practice from then and there, and, you know, be comfortable, or how you, again, how your life goals you see, you want to make sure that they come true, right? Yeah, and that's it. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you, Dr. Chavali ma'am, for such an open and genuine session. Hearing the journey and the realities of USMLE pathway makes us feel so much more real and relatable for us as students.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll be doing the Q&A session next.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Hello, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your advices. And I'm Sree, ma'am, the co-host, the vice chairman of Mahathi Academy of Medical Sciences. I'm actually part of Janaka, ma'am. And
Nice. I don't think we've met in person, but yeah, nice to meet you.
yes, nice to meet you. So I have a few questions. I'm actually interested in writing USMLE. So
Go ahead.
like, what is the future now, ma'am? Like, is emergency and intervention is the future right now? So what exactly is leading?
So obviously preventive care is better than curative care, and given the crisis of healthcare, we are, even anywhere around the world, I think we are at a lack of primary care physicians. Yes, everyone wants to be a neurosurgeon, everyone wants to be a cardiologist. Who's taking care of the general population, right?
Yeah.
So there's always going to be a high demand of primary care physicians. That's never going to go out of style. And if that's your thing, definitely go for it. There are lots of openings coming in, and because we have evidence-based medicine, it's very strong, right? We have practices, we see protocols, we see procedures. This is what's going on in our day-to-day environment. And you know, it has a great scope. Honestly, does it pay as better as our counterparts? No. But do you have your job satisfaction? That's for you to decide, right?
Okay, so even about the salaries, ma'am, so which one? So preventive medicine is having more, or?
Preventive medicine does not have more, unfortunately. It does not. I highly think preventive medicine should be paid more. I highly think pediatrics should be paid more. That's just me. But yes, compared to subspecialists, we do not get paid. So for example, if I gave you an internal medicine doctor would make a base salary of maybe 250K a year. A pediatrician makes maybe 200.
Okay.
You could do fellowship, and I, as a pediatrician, would make less than an internal medicine doctor. Cardiologists can make anywhere from 300, 400K a year, dollars a year. Neurosurgery, anywhere above 500K to 700K. So is it equally compensative? No. Is
Okay.
the workload higher? It's give or take, right? In primary care, you're going to be seeing 40 patients a day. Whereas in cardio, you might be doing maybe 5 or 6 cats a day on a busy day, right? So it all depends on where you see your life and balance it out. If you think you're good in primary care and that's where you see yourself, then go for it. Again, go for it. It's
Yeah.
on all your interest on how you can manage.
Yes, ma'am. The work-life balance compared to India and US, ma'am, is the situation becoming the same, or is it different?
I'm telling you, as a resident, you're going to work hard either way. I work 80 hours a week. I got off a night shift right now, so I'm like semi-sleeping. But yeah, you work hard. It depends on the program. Some places do 24-hour calls, some places do 12-hour calls. I'm lucky, my program does only 12-hour calls, even as seniors. So you kind of look into all of these aspects. Shift work versus clinic work versus electives. So shift, if you are a resident, especially in a hospitalist or an ICU setting, you're working 6 days a week.
Okay.
You're working 6 days a week. If you want an example of my schedule, I work 2 weeks of days, 2 weeks of nights, 6 days a week for a month.
Okay.
So it depends on the number of shifts. You can have up to 3 shifts in a row. So for me, this is my 3rd shift.
And ma'am, you've mentioned that without learning it again, we can take the courses before it's of epic, something you've been
Yeah.
mentioning.
So for example, if you're working, for example, in rotations, you will get access to EMR systems. If you're working as a scribe or a medical assistant, all of these things, you will be exposed to EMR systems. They may not all be the same, but once you learn how to navigate it, it becomes much easier.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Now let's go to the questions, ma'am.
Yeah.
How many years of PG? Just one. How many years of PG is for different specialties, like each specialty?
Oh, okay, sure. So intermedicine, pediatrics, family medicine, all of those are 3 years. Surgery, general surgery is 5 years. OB, anesthesia is 4 years. Neurosurgery is 7 years. Neurology is 5 years. Child neurology is also 5 years. And
Plastic
then
surgery is for 7 years, ma'am.
plastic surgery, I think it's 5. I'm not exactly sure. And so, for example, internal medicine, it's 3 years. And if you want to be a cardiologist, again, you would do fellowship again for 3 years.
Okay. What's the visa situation? Because yeah, right now Trump and how is
I think Trump's going to tell you that. I can't tell you that. So visa situation, it has been, I've seen mixed reviews. I know people who have applied previously that applied or matched this year. If they were very lucky, some of them to get J1 visas, and they're now practicing in the US. I know people that got delayed visas, but they have come back. They have joined residency. They started a little late, so that's cool. I know some people, even though they had, went through the whole gruesome process, weren't unfortunately able to get it. So, it's not something that anyone can predict, honestly.
down like in 4 years? Do you think it's gonna change if Trump is not there anymore?
Yeah, if I can predict time, I would do a lot of things.
Yes, ma'am. How much is the cost of the whole process of USMLE with visa and living?
Okay, so that will again depend on your location, where you're staying, how you're doing your rotations, how you got your rotations, and your lifestyle personally, right? You could be living in New York City, you can be living in Manhattan, paying $3,000 a month for accommodation.
Okay.
So it all depends on that. If you are getting paid rotations are anywhere from $2,000 each rotation. Plus you would have to find your accommodation, food, living expenses, all of that. Some people are lucky to get free rotations where they only have to, find accommodation. Again, you have to also think about travel. You're traveling from one place to another. So flight tickets, all of those things come into account. STEP exams are expensive, minimum of $1,000 each step. So you have to consider that. Yes, ECMFG registration is also what, 800. They're increasing their prices, so watch out for that as well. I'm not the one to say that it's cheap. It is expensive. I would say anywhere up from $25,000 to $30,000 is a budget that you should keep in the back of your head. It can be more. Again, it takes lots of factors that come into play. So that's going to be your like bare minimum that you want to think about. But
yeah.
your compensation's good, right? You're coming back, throughout residency, you get paid well. Fellowship, you get paid, and then as an attending, obviously.
Yes, ma'am. So how is pathology residency in USA?
Pathology is good. Pathology is competitive. It's getting competitive. I have a friend that matched into pathology just this year. Usually for pathology residents, it's like most of the residents already have done a post-graduation and they have a lot of experience. And then they apply to the US for pathology. So if you're a fresh graduate, you're kind of competing against a lot of older graduates with already lots of home country experience. So that's something to keep in mind. It's getting more competitive because one, it's a more chiller job. They don't do much call, and also it's paid very well. So yeah.
Well, okay. So ma'am, if our college is not recognized and we want to write the step one. So what do we do when it is not recognized?
So I know there's new changes with ECMFG, especially after my Intel Health came in. So I think right now it's still, you have to apply through your college to get recognition, but it might change very soon. Now I think it's going to be that unless your college is recognized, you won't be able to even apply to write. So I mean, keep an eye out for that. I know some people that I know did, sort of submit an application to get their college recognized, but it does take almost a year or two for that to happen. So just be careful with that.
Ma'am, so free rotations, is it via cold emailing or how?
Cold emailing, networking. I personally have not had luck with it. I know people have, so just, keep reaching out, keep talking to people.
I did attend the USMLE summit, ma'am. So yeah. Yes, ma'am. Why did you choose USMLE? Why not AMC? Why not PLAB?
I grew up in the US. I wanted to come back. So I had roots.
Okay.
Yeah, I was used to the environment, coming back home.
So everyone, do you have any further questions? Please do put it in the form. So it is true that surgical specialties are hard to get in, right?
Definitely. But it's not to say that people don't get in. There are multiple people that match into surgical specialties. So again, it's how well you craft your application, how well you network.
Yes. So I guess we're accepted in 129 countries after doing our residency in US.
You can practice almost anywhere. I know there was a previous discussion with Aman sir that, going to, the Middle East, you're actually paid more if you do USMLE and you go back. You get much, much, much pay. I know a lot of people from the Middle East that come to the US, do USMLE, and then they go back. They do residency and they go back and they're paid almost like 5 to 10 times more than the average doctor there. So
Okay. What are the recommend sources for writing our USMLE exams?
it depends on person to person. I would say start off with first aid, UWorld. Boards and Beyond videos are very helpful. Randy Neal videos for biostatistics, definitely helpful. Sketchy for microbiology, Pathoma. Those are some things that are very helpful. But stick to first aid and UWorld. Those are like your bread and butter of USMLE.
And what about taking Marrow or other platforms for USMLE? So how far they'll be helping?
I personally do not know. I didn't use any of the platforms. I studied by myself. So I can't really comment on how it is.
Yes, lifestyles between US and India, which is more better, is the question.
As a resident, all of them suck. You're working hard. So, long shot. I think about it. Lifestyle here, you are limited in the number of hours you work. You are paid more. Obviously, you're paid. You don't have to pay fees. It's a job. Basically, you're a job. You're in the hospital. You're responsible for whatever goes on. You have more autonomy. So you have coming to patient care, procedures, all of these things. You're very hands-on clinically. And I think that's a better experience that I've enjoyed.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Is there a significant advantage in being a citizen while matching?
Yeah, definitely. They don't have to sponsor visas. And as long as they don't want to sponsor visas, they'll take you.
So surgical specialties are harder for even citizens or only for IMGs?
No. So for example, as an IMG, any matching is difficult, right? If you're a US citizen, it makes it easier. Surgical specialties are difficult for IMGs overall. If you're a US citizen, possibly, again, you'll be like 5 to 10% higher, have a higher chance of matching.
What year did Dr. Mahathi ma'am give step 1 in her MBBS?
I didn't give step 1 in my MBBS. I gave it after. So I graduated 22. And then I wrote so I graduated 22. I moved back to the US in August of 22. Wrote step 1 in Jan 23, step 2 in May 23, and then applied that year, September. Yeah, don't be me. My timeline's very short. Don't be me.
What is the timeline for specialization, like emergency medicine in US, UK, and Australia?
US, it's 4 years. There are different programs. It's 3 years, 4 years, and then if you want to do like an ultrasound fellowship or something, that'll be 1 or 2 years.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's it about the questions, ma'am. Like, thank you so much for your time, ma'am. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Chavali. Sorry, is it Chavali? Did I pronounce it right?
My name is Mahathi, yes.
Mahathi. Hi, Mahathi. Yeah. Thank you so much for the talk. I was listening in the background, found it interesting. And my question was more about the work-life balance. You mentioned that you're working 80 hours a week. I mean, to me, that sounds insane. That sounds to
It
me
is.
impossible. I don't know how you're doing it. I don't know how others are doing it. But how busy those 80 hours would be? Like, is it like full-on work, or you see patients on and off? How does it work?
So it depends. For example, right now I'm on my NICU rotation. My NICU rotation is busy. We have 2 24-weekers, 1 22-weeker, and a couple of 32 or 34-weekers. So our NICU is very busy right now. It depends on the rotation. So for example, if you're on floor, it's a little bit more, I guess, chiller, you would say. And again, it also depends on your hospital setting. If your hospital is an academic center, you will have more patients, you will be working much harder. Whereas if you're a more community-based hospital, you see like a less amount of patients per se, and it's not as busy. Again, it depends on where you're rotating, what time you're rotating. As a pediatrician, for us, respiratory season, it's just full house.
Winter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
We are full house.
winters are crazy. Agree. Same here.
In clinic, we can see 100 patients a day in respiratory season. So and admissions just like we run through admissions. We're always full. Our ICUs are full. Our floor is full. So it depends on time of day. For example, even on our like mother baby unit, we can have up to 50 babies at a time. So
oh wow,
it's busy.
that's a big number. Yeah, and this work pattern is throughout the residency, or it kind of changes? Because in UK, what happens at the beginning, you might feel that your rota is a bit stiff. I mean, nowhere near 80. We do 40 hours a week. This is standard.
Yeah.
Sometimes in the early residency, it's up to 48 hours. I'm currently doing it 32 hours a week, and I still find it difficult sometimes. But anyways, that's personal thing. But what I was trying to say is, as you grow in your career, your working hours gets more adjusted and better.
So it depends. Again, residency. I know first 2 years they usually give us more number of shift months, and then as you transition into third year, you might come down on your shift months. So for example, you might do 7, 6, and 5 over your 3 years of residency. Fellowship, again, it depend again on your program and what kind of specialty you choose. So for example, if you're doing ICU, so NICU, again, you're doing Q 24-hour shifts, or Q3 24 hours, you'll be doing that. If you are doing clinic, it's much more relaxed. You'll only be working maybe 40 hours a week as a general pediatrician.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
And is there a scope of less than full times? Like in UK, they have. Sorry, one last question, Shivu.
Actually, it's getting late, sir. And
Yeah.
Can I conclude this session, sir?
Okay. Just last one. Quickly, Mahathi. Less than full time. Is there an option?
Yeah, definitely. You can do that.
Okay.
You can do.
Great.
I know.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
Work like 3 or 4 weeks, 3 or 4 times a week. That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Great. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you,
That
guys.
brings us to the close of today's session, 1 dream and 3 passports. On behalf of AMSA, a heartfelt thank you to our esteemed Dr. Atif Moiz, Dr. Aman Syed, and Dr. Sree Mahathi Chavali for their time, insights, and honest guidance on PLAB, USMLE, and AMC. Your experiences have given us a clarity on what truly it takes to pursue a medical career abroad. And to our participants, thank you for your enthusiasm and engaging questions. Remember, choosing a pathway isn't about shaping, it is about exams. It is about shaping your future you envision for yourself. And we would also like to thank the Zonal Head for letting us do this event and organizers who came up with this idea. We'll be sharing the recordings and resources with AMSA members shortly. Until then, stay motivated, stay focused, and keep working towards your dream. Take care, and we look forward to seeing you all at our next AMSA event. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, once again for your